What's up? Welcome to tonight's live stream. I wasn't planning on streaming. I said I would potentially come back. I had fully intended to hop on my NPC and play around with that and kind of relax. But some interesting things have been happening lately, which got me thinking, oh man, yeah, bro, for real. I don't know. This is not great, to say the least. Fortunately, he's okay. I think that it would have been incredibly bad had it actually succeeded. You know, if he would have been killed, like, yeah, that would have been very bad. It's already bad that I think some other people died as a result of this. Like some people some bystanders essentially. So hopefully, you know, all the other folks who potentially got injured, hopefully they're okay. But yeah, man, I don't know what to say. That's all I don't think that I couldn't have imagined that I would see an attempt on a president, a former president, a running president, anyone. I don't think I couldn't have imagined that. This is something where I'm just like, how have we devolved as a nation to where people think that is the solution? And I'm gonna share some tweets. Unfortunately, I didn't actually put them in a list. I meant to do that, but I was like, let me just start of some of the people and what they're saying. And it's just like, have people completely lost their minds? I guess they have. I don't know. Yeah, bro. Like, seriously, like whoever did this, I don't think there's been any information come out to light yet. But whoever did this, how can they claim to care about this country? I was under the impression that if you truly cared about this country, your end goal would be to unite people, to find the common ground, to figure out what are the things that we all have in common, and then center around that. Like, everything else can be figured out from there. But this idea that someone thought that the correct solution is to go out and try to take another man's life. I don't understand it, but I don't know. Yeah, bro, it's not even about whether or not he's innocent or not. That, to me, that's irrelevant, right? Like, whatever he's done, is that a reason to try to assassinate him? Like, just like whatever he's done, right? Like, sure, let's say he's done all the things that he's done, or at least that he's been charged with, they don't involve killing other people. You know, it's not like he's done things that have true victims, you know? Whereas had they actually succeeded in taking him out, there would be other victims besides Trump. I mean, the man has a family. Like, what about his sons, his brothers and sisters, his wife and their family, his daughters? Like, what about all those people, right? Like, yeah. I think you make more enemies than you make friends by doing that. So we're going to look at Twitter. I know. Be warned. I know it's a cesspool. Yeah, I'm looking at it. Yeah, let me go to my Explorer right quick. All right. Yeah. So we'll go into this scene right here. And let's see if like what people are saying about Mr. Trump. Bro, like, real talk, he has several iconic photos or iconic pictures that have come out recently. You got this one and you got the mugshot. Like, let's just take a moment right here. Like, this is a very powerful photo. You have the American flag back in the background. You got him, like, you know, the injury. You got his Secret Service folks trying to protect him, and you got him throwing up the fist. Yeah, bro. Like seriously. This is There's so many iconic photos, and it's hold on. What's the other one? Trump. What is it? Mugshot. That's the other one that's pretty iconic. This one right here. It's just, I don't know, man. Wait, is that the bullet? Oh, I don't know if that's real. I think that's fake. I'm not saying that. When I say, I don't really mean like icon in the sense that he's an icon. What I mean is, it's an iconic photo. Let me give some examples. All right, so let's say Saigon, American retreat. There is a photo that is just iconic. There are a few of them. They have a photo of D-Day, the landing. This photo right here is iconic, right? Like there's a lot here, you know. Like that's what I mean. I'm not really saying that, you know, he himself is an icon. Maybe he is. I don't know. I'm not gonna get into all that. But yeah, like this photo in and of itself, man, like that's wow. Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, imagine if, man, I don't even want to imagine that. So let's see. This is apparently from him, I guess. I don't know, Team Trump, I guess. I want to thank the United States Secret Service and all law enforcement for their rapid response on the shooting that just took place in Butler, Pennsylvania. Most importantly, I want to extend my condolences to the family of the person at the rally who was killed, and also to the family of another person that was badly injured. It is incredible that such an act can take place in our country. Nothing is known at this time about the shooter, who is now dead. I was shot with a bullet that pierced the upper part of my right ear. I knew immediately that something was wrong and that I heard a whizzing sound, shots, and immediately felt the bullet ripping through the skin. Much bleeding took place, so I realized then that what was happening. God bless America. Oh my gosh. So I'm of the opinion that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter like who you're like rooting for in this thing that's going on. And yeah, it doesn't matter who you're rooting for in this thing. Like this is bad. This is just bad. And it's embarrassing. It's literally embarrassing. Because the world is going to see this. How can we have this sense of American exceptionalism, and this is what we're doing? Huh, all right. Let's see here. And to think that the media are still saying it's possible attempted assassination. By the way, we're going to get into that because I've been looking. I saw some stuff, and I don't know if it's going to be here, but we'll see. Maybe it'll be on Twitter, hopefully. I didn't actually save the tweets because I was eating dinner, so I didn't actually get a chance to put the tweets in. I have a channel that I like to put stuff in for coming back to. Obviously, it's I agree. It's obviously an assassination attempt. Some of the headlines that I saw was loud popping noises, and they're trying to frame it as if he was afraid of something. Well, see, that's the thing. Like, this is my worry, is that a lot of people believe that stuff like this can't happen in our country, but it can. And we're seeing it. It can happen in our country. And until people like really understand that we build the world that we want to live in, right? It's baffling to me that other people, they think that it's up to a group of leaders, a group of elites, a group of others to go out and create the world for them to live in, but that's not how it works. We all build the world that we want to live in together. I mean, that's part of it being a society and a civilization, right? So the fact that we have people in our country who don't share those values is concerning to me. One article, yeah, let's see. Let's see if we can find some of the stuff. Oh, look at this. So apparently this is the shooter. And they say he was here. All right. Let's see what we can find out. According to CNN. Oh, wow. So I guess this is what you're talking about. Someone lost his life. Donald Trump survived, but the assassination attempt has more than one victim. This is no longer just an attempt. Secret Service rushes Trump off stage after he falls at rally. Wow. Remember when Joe Biden said it's time to put Trump in a bullseye? This assassination attempt is because of you, Joe Biden. I don't know. Maybe, but probably not. Let's see if we can find. Wait, president unproved claim. I don't know what this is. Let's see if we can find like what people are saying on For You, maybe. That's probably not going to be it. Okay, maybe news. Maybe, I don't know. Obviously, I don't know how to use Twitter. By the way, if you know if you like know of things, let me know. I can look it up. I would like to think there's no way Biden is behind this, but this day and age, who knows? Honestly, I don't think that he's behind it. Let's see, Trump NBC, or is it NBC? NBC? Your biggest issue is the incompetence of the Secret Service. Why do you say they're incompetent? Oh yeah, this is the one that I saw. I was at a Chinese restaurant and they had NBC on. So Secret Service rushes Trump off stage after popping noises heard at his Pennsylvania rally. So it's interesting how they're framing this, right? Like it's obviously an assassination attempt. And even if it weren't, right? Let's say that it's not an assassination attempt. It's still gunshots. And the way they frame it is just popping noises. It's just, come on, man. Let's see what Biden has to say in response. My bigger check that. Wait, check what? I'm sorry. Check what? Or I guess I can look it up. I guess is it just Secret Service incompetence? I'll pull it up in a second. I want to hear this. So I think that this popped up while I was eating. So I didn't get to hear it. Like, they didn't have any sound on. So let's see. I'm going to
briefed by all the agencies in the federal government as to the situation, based on what we know now. I have tried to get a hold of Donald. He's with his doctors. Apparently he's doing well. I plan on talking to them shortly, I hope, when I get back to the telephone. Look, there's no place in America for this kind of violence. It's sick.
By the way, your Twitter, the link that you shared, it didn't come through. You may not be able to share a Twitter link. Maybe. Here, what you could do though, Or actually, yeah. Hold on, give me a second. Let me see. Let me see if I can show you what you could do to get around that. So I think if you click on the share and copy link, you see where this little number here, that ID, paste that ID. I can get to it from there. And please don't send anything bad. Like I'll pull it up off screen just to make sure. But let's finish this.
It's sick. It's one of the reasons why we have to unite this country. We cannot allow for this to be happening. We cannot be like this. We cannot condone this. And I want to thank the Secret Service and all the agencies, including the state agencies, that have been engaged in making sure that the people and we have more detail to come relative to other people maybe injured in the audience. I don't have all that detail. We'll make that available to you. I may be able to come back a little later tonight, but we'll put out a statement if I'm not able to if it's not convenient for you all. But the bottom line is that the Trump rally was a rally that he should have been able to can be conducted peacefully without any problem. But the idea that there's political violence or violence in America like this is just unheard of. It's just not appropriate. And everybody must condemn it. Everybody. I'll keep you informed, and if I am able to speak to Donald, I'll let you know that as well. But so far, it appears he's doing well, number one. Number two, that they're thoroughly investigating what happened to anyone else in the audience. We have some reports, but not final reports. And every agency in the federal government, I'm going back to my phone to speak with the federal agencies that are being put together again to give me an updated briefing. Has anything happened? They learned any more in the last couple hours. So thank you.
Okay. So hopefully I don't know, man. I'm at a hold on. It's very concerning how that rooftop was not secured, and also how a Trump supporter alerted nearby Secret Service and police about a man on the rooftop, and they did nothing. Just weird. Yeah. Potentially. Yeah. I suspect we will, more details will come out. It seems like they took out the person relatively quickly. But man, I don't know. It's I don't know. Yeah, I honestly, I don't even know what to say. It's not great. Why is this? Let's do background music. Sorry. Yeah, honestly, it's hard to even put into words how disappointing this is. Let's say that, sure, let's accept the premise. No, I'm not saying I agree, but let's accept the premise that Secret Service may have been incompetent and that things were weird and police didn't do whatever they were supposed to do. Let's just take that as the premise, right? It doesn't change the fact that there was a person who thought it was a good idea to go in to try to attempt to assassinate someone who's running for president. There's a lot of talk about preserving our democracy, and I'm not saying that we have a true democracy, but let's assume that we have a pure 100% democracy, a pure democracy. If you take out one of the people who's running for president or for office, any office, whether it's president, the House, Senate, mayor, anyone, if you take out someone, how is that preserving democracy? Because surely there are people who may want that particular person or individual to win that particular office. And when you take away someone's chance of having a leader who they elected to, or even a leader who they want to elect to put into office, that's not preserving our democracy. In fact, that's the exact opposite. Did you see the picture of the? Nah. You gotta. So if you sent the Twitter thing, you gotta copy the ID of the Twitter or the tweet, because I want to say that YouTube is not allowing. I don't want to say that it's not showing up to me. So if you're sharing links, it's not going to show up. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do about that one. All right, let's see. Let's go to CBS News, I guess. There you are. Oh, excuse me. All right, let's see if I can copy it. Yeah, I can. Perfect. Okay, so we will come here and copy that link. And then we'll put in your ID. All right, so we have the shooter was over here, Trump is here, and Secret Service is here. Okay. One more time. How is it not secured? Literally 4 camera drones would have prevented this. They were scrambling to see what the eyewitnesses. I mean, maybe they didn't. I don't know. My thought is, why? I know I shouldn't think this way, but like, why would they even have to worry about that? I guess that's where I'm at, which is like, the fact that even needs to be a concern in our country is a concern to me. How can we be a free society if we have to live in fear that someone's going to assassinate us or assassinate a leader? I know we've had assassinations in the past, but the last assassination for a president was over 50, 60 years ago. This is going in the wrong direction. It's going in the wrong direction. Things are not improving. All right, let's see here. So someone's saying, looks like they had it lined up. Again, I think there's some private property issue here that's not being talked about. Not sure though. I can see that. But yeah, there's someone here.
That chart's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened. And you know that's.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. This isn't a picture of the person though, is it? No, it's not. Let's see. There is some other stuff here. Maybe I'll figure out how to use Twitter for once. All right, so how did the shooter even get on the roof? I've been at several events for Trump, and there is no way you can get anything going that close to him. I measured it on X 15. I don't know what that is. It's complete negligence. And then community notes are saying that the sniping unit were local police officers. Secret Service were near Trump on the ground. Okay. Yeah, see, my thing is like, the first thought to something like this happening, like I understand people are incredulous. They can't believe something like this will happen, and they start pointing fingers. But I think that completely misses the point, right? Like is very much outside the point. All right. Give me a second. Unfortunately, I can't just copy these things easily. They have to make it incredibly hard. Let's go back, I think. Is it this one? Why am I having such a hard time getting things to work? Huh. Interesting. Maybe I can just put it here. Is this it? Cause I scrolled past this if this is what you're talking about. Did we just witness another Secret Service stand down? It's happened before, and this is proof. JFK stand down by Secret Service. Let's see. The head of the Secret Service and leader of the security detail should resign. No. I'm not about to watch that. I think that's actually something that may get my stream taken off. By the way, for whatever reason, I'm unable to stream to Twitter. I don't understand why, but I'm unable to do it. Oh, that's not it? Okay. Let me. Oh, dude, yeah, this right here is fuck. This is very this is very timely here. Let's listen to this right quick.
I was going viral on the fucking internet, telling all of you. I said they try and cancel you. If cancellation fails, they try and put you in jail, and if that fails, they fucking kill you. I was saying this last year. I was saying it after I rejected their fucking money. I rejected their money to sell my soul, and I started saying on every podcast, they're gonna hit me with a bullshit case. They're gonna try and put me in jail. And when I got out of jail, I said on every podcast, I'm uncomfortable because I know I'm on my last fucking life. Look what they've done to Trump. Look at it. They canceled him, they deleted him from everything. Nobody cared, it didn't work. They tried to put him in jail, that's failed. Now they killed him. You get 3 lives against these people. The second you've been canceled, next is a fucking case. And if you beat that case, they're gonna put a bullet in you. It happens every fucking time. I don't care what side of the political spectrum you're on. You better pray for Donald Trump because he is fighting evil. You do not want the people who are against Trump in charge of anything, especially not your fucking life. I don't care what you call yourself, Democrat, Republican, no matter what it is. You need to pray for Donald Trump and pray for him right now. He's the last fucking hope for Western
You know what's interesting though
it.
is that Tucker said this last year. He said that he thinks that there was going to be an assassination attempt. Some similar like line of reasoning as this. So you said look up BBC informed police. Okay. Oh, maybe this isn't it. Maybe I should put Trump. Well, oh, maybe this is okay, but this isn't BBC. Are they suppressing this? Could they be suppressing this? Yeah. I mean, you could hate a man, but I don't know. Like, just because you hate someone doesn't mean you kill them, right? Or is that just me? Is that just how I think? Like, you can hate all you want, talk all the shit that you want, but there are limits, clear limits. You know, I understand people not liking him. I understand people not liking the other dude. But it should never come to, okay, I'm going to actually go out and act out and like take a life. That's, to me, no, that's not it. I can't find what you're talking about, by the way. Secret Service. Let's try this. BBC. Maybe I shouldn't type BBC. Let's see. Secret Service. And then Trump. Let's see if we get something. Is this it right here? Is this it? Man, this is bright. Trump shot in ear at assassination attempt. Let's see here. Let me no, search that whole thing on Twitter. Oh, okay. All right. So BBC, Trump, Secret Service. Did I ever tell you I don't actually know how to use Twitter? I don't really know how to use this stuff. All right, so breaking interview with man who says he saw the shooter 5 minutes before the incident. He told Secret Service and police what was happening and was ignored. Oops, I don't want to make it full screen.
And we all decided, hey, you know, when we hear Trump up there, we're going to walk up through the field, stand by the trees up there under the shade, and watch and listen to the rally, right? We couldn't see him, but we could hear him. So we walked up. And probably 5 to 7 minutes of Trump speaking, I'm estimating here, I have no idea, you know, but we noticed a guy crawling, bear crawling up the roof of the building. beside us, 50 feet away from us. So we're standing there, and, you know, we're pointing at the guy crawling up the roof.
And he had a gun, right?
He had a rifle. We could clearly see him with a rifle. Absolutely. We're pointing at him. The police are down there running around on the ground. We're like, hey, man, there's a guy on the roof with a rifle. And the police were like, huh, what? You know, like they didn't know what was going on. You know, we're like, hey, right here on the roof. We can see him from right here. We see him. You know, he's crawling. And next thing you know, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, why is Trump still speaking? Why have they not pulled him off the stage? I'm standing there pointing at him for, 2 or 3 minutes. Secret Service is looking at us from the top of the barn. I'm pointing at that roof, just standing there like this. And next thing you know, 5 shots rang out.
So you're certain that the shots came from that guy on the roof?
100%. 100%.
And he was up there for a couple of minutes.
He was up there.
You saw him up there for a couple of minutes.
Absolutely. At least 3 to 4 minutes.
And you were telling the police and the Secret Service?
We were telling the police. We were pointing at them for the Secret Service, who were looking at us from the top of the barn. They were looking at us the whole time when we were standing by that tree.
Could they see
binoculars?
Could they see him?
Probably not.
All right, so I understand where he's at. Here's what I think. I'm not going to call incompetence, and here's why. Everything that he's saying is from his perspective. He's saying that I was telling them, we were telling them, they were looking at us. I'm sure you've walked down the street and someone's looking in your direction and they wave. And you may be thinking in your mind that maybe they're waving to you. But in reality, they're waving to someone else because you're looking at it from your perspective. I'm not saying that he's not, maybe all this is true. What I'm saying is that maybe he doesn't know what they were looking at. You know what I mean? Right? Like, he saw them doesn't mean that they were paying much attention to him. In fact, they could have been looking at the same thing he was looking at. Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, this is just a guy saying that we told someone. Now, if it comes out that, in the radios, or if they record any of these conversations that they have, okay, at that point, sure. But right now, it's just like a man says that he says something, or he was telling people something, but I don't see how he can tell someone something if he's on the ground and the people who he's talking to are on top of a barn with binoculars. I've looked through binoculars before. They have a very limited field of view. So yes, I could look in your direction and straight up not see you. So yeah, like my first thought is like, okay, yeah, like he probably did do all of the things that he said he did. Where I think he loses me is that he was actually communicating with them, right? Like there's something where you can think you're communicating with someone, but that actual communication doesn't happen. So I think that could be what's happening here, where, they saw something and they were trying to get people's attention, and maybe they thought they got someone's attention and nothing was happening. And then this happened. I don't know though. I don't know. I'm not completely discounting what I'm seeing here, but I also can't just take it as, oh yeah, absolutely. Everybody was saying that this was happening and they ignored it. I don't think that was happening. This is a single man. A single man. And he said he was 50 feet away. I don't know if I'm just saying, I don't know if he was actually 50 feet, but he claims that he was 50 feet away from wherever the shots occurred at, which means that he was closer to that building than he was than the Trump and probably the people surrounding him. But what I saw, just based off of what I saw, after the shot, I see that he goes to the ground and then the Secret Service are there within seconds. See, look at that. As soon as he goes to the ground, they are there bomb rushing. So I don't know, like if that's incompetence, I guess. I mean, like, are they supposed to magically teleport in front of the bullet? Like, there's human response time. There's a lot of things at play. To me, just based off of what I'm seeing, it seems like they did a pretty decent job of making sure that, they went to where he was to shield him. And sure, like he's doing his fist pump and all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, let's be real. Donald Trump is kind of tall. I think he's like 6'5". So, so it's like, he's going to do what he's going to do. He probably has adrenaline pumping and like, you know, you can't just say, all right, well, because of this, it's absolutely the case that this is a setup. I don't think this was a setup. And yeah, let's see what the community notes say about this. Wait, what? Oh, okay. It would have required a rifle, he said. Is several. Okay, I don't know. Identifying specific details such as whether they are armed would be quite difficult without binoculars or another visual aid. Maybe for this person. I think some people can tell what a gun looks like, especially the folks who go out and hunt. They're pretty intimately familiar with what guns look like. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. This is something as well. Let's see. So this came out 54 minutes ago, and this is that guy again. So I was on the right page. This is the original source, I guess, or maybe not. Yeah. This may be the original source because I guess BBC did this. Man. let's go to see what Tucker. I think Tucker said something about this. Tucker. Trump.
Your father goes out there and just basically raises the middle finger and says, we're going to win. So, but let me ask you, the convictions come down 34 yesterday, and your father goes out there and just basically raises the middle finger and says, we're going to win anyway.
This was a rigged, disgraceful trial. The real verdict is going to be November 5th by the people, and they know what happened here, and everybody knows what happened here.
And within hours, Benny Thompson of Mississippi, who's a monster, Democratic congressman, introduces legislation to pull the Secret Service. Yeah. So basically they're saying, okay,
this is what I brought up a little bit earlier. I was like, it's interesting because I remember this happening. That being talked about somewhere, I don't know where it was, but about potentially removing his Secret Service. It came up as a result of that case that he was going through, the trial that he was going through, and they were saying that he shouldn't be able to have Secret Service protections while in jail like a felon. So I think they passed that law. I think. Let me check. Google. We'll try to do it from Google, and then what is it? Secret Service, let's see, felon, removal, Trump, I don't know, just throw some words, maybe one of these. The disgraced former protectees at what we terminate. Okay, so let's see, did this pass? Wait, it's literally called Disgraced Former Protectees Act? Wow. Wow. Okay. Did it get... Wait, why? No. We don't need to download anything. Oh, it was just introduced. Okay. It was introduced. It didn't pass. Representative Thompson Benny G. Introduced April 19th. Here it is right here. Denying certain felons Secret Service protection. I love how they say certain felons. Okay. Section 3056A of Title 18 United States Code is amended by striking declined and inserting declined. The protection authorized in paragraphs 1 through 8 shall terminate for any person upon sentencing following conviction for a federal or state offense that is punishable for a term of imprisonment of at least 1 year. Let's see who sponsored this. Representative Carter Troy. This looks like Louisiana. Representative Barbara Lee from California. Frederica Wilson from Florida. Yvette Clark from New York. Bonnie Coleman from New Jersey. Jasmine Crockett from Texas. Joyce Beatty from Ohio, and Steve Cohen from Tennessee. Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. Like, this could have been much worse. I'm like, thank God that they missed. You know, like, thank God that they missed, because even if you don't like Trump, even if you think he's an idiot and incompetent and all of the, like, any pejorative you want to throw at him, I don't think that it would have been great for our country if he was killed, because we're already fractured and divided as a nation enough as it is. And to have someone be taken out in such a violent manner like that, so close to the elections, when inflation is incredibly high, people are struggling, you know, unemployment is up. There's a lot of things going on in the country, and I think that would have been a catalyst moment. You know, like, I don't think that would have improved our situation in one bit. Did you see what the shooter looked like? Nah, I didn't. Does it matter what he looks like though? Or is it a he? Or is it a she? I don't know. I don't know what they identify as. But whatever, I don't know what they look like. But I don't think it matters what they look like, to be honest. I think the only thing that matters is that they are no longer alive. Straight up. Like, I would not want to, obviously it wouldn't, actually a felon, I think that is my tax money at that point. But I was going to say, I don't even think that my tax dollars would go to imprison him. But even then, I wouldn't want this man in prison, because, like, I don't think anyone's tax money should go to, like, ensuring that this dude lives off of the state in prison. I think that, you know, he met his demise the way that he probably, like, he shouldn't meet his demise, you know? So I'm not glad, obviously, because I'm not glad that he's dead in that sense, because he probably wouldn't have been dead if he wasn't out there doing that kind of stupid shit in the first place, you know? Oh man, I don't know. This is not great. Oh yeah, this is it. I think this is it. Let's watch this.
They called him names. He won anyway. They impeached him.
Oops, why is that not
on
working?
ridiculous pretenses. They fabricated a lot about what happened on January 6th in order to impeach him again. It didn't work. He came back. Then they indicted him. It didn't work. He became more popular. Then they indicted him 3 more times, and every single time his popularity rose. So if you begin with criticism, then you go to protest, then you go to impeachment, now you go to indictment, and none of them work, what's next? I mean, graph it out, man. We're speeding toward assassination, obviously, and no one will say that, but I don't know how you can reach that conclusion. You know what I mean? Like, they have decided, permanent Washington, both parties have decided that there's something about Trump that's so threatening to them, they just can't have him. They called him names.
It just repeats? Okay, sure. I guess he talked to him. I don't know. I don't actually watch all these things.
Impeachment didn't work twice, obviously. Indictment is not working. Your poll numbers go up. When they raided Mar-a-Lago in August of last year, your numbers went up. They can indict you 20 times, and you're not gonna lose the Republican primary because of that.
Well, so, it makes it look even more ridiculous. I mean, the 4 indictments, and maybe there'll be more. I don't know. These people are crazy.
But they're counterproductive. So if you chart it out, it's an escalation, is what I'm saying. Yeah. So what's next? After, try to put you in prison for the rest of your life, that's not working. So, like, don't they have to kill you now? That gets back to my original question. So if the protest didn't work, you got elected.
Oh, here we are. I think this is maybe him after he's been killed.
You can see the guy there.
Yeah. This is him after he's been killed, I guess.
I think they hit him because the guy he looks dead. Tá vendo? Lá em cima, né? Aqui, ó.
Yeah, the fact that they killed the dude probably within seconds after he, shot his shot, and they got to him, and his Secret Service people, they got to him within a second. It was very quickly. I mean, people are going to say that, you know, they need to be fired and competent. I don't agree. I think that they did a phenomenal job. Just real talk. I think that they did a pretty good job. And I don't know how do you really secure something that, you know? Like, how do you secure a kind of a wide open kind of environment? I don't know. Obviously, I don't work security, so just take what I say with a grain of salt. I wonder if Biden actually said it's time to put Trump in a bull's eye. Even if he did say that, you gotta, like, at least for me, when these people are talking, you know, politically, like they're not saying things in a literal sense. You know? Like it's just political speech. It's, you know, it's very metaphorical. So even if he would have said that, I can't get behind the idea that, yeah, he was talking about that. Just what I think. You assume the Secret Service would be on top of that stuff. Well, what one of the community notes said was that it could have been a matter of private property. We do have private property in our country. So it could have been a situation like that where they weren't allowed to kind of be over there, but they still had coverage, because if you look above Trump, there is that guy with a rifle, like, you know, just poised. And I think there was another guy somewhere else. So, you know, I think they had pretty good coverage. So, you know, he's alive. So you can't say that they did a bad job because the dude's alive. Right now, you know, he's within an inch of being alive, but but yeah, you know, yeah, I don't want to like start making conspiracy theories, you know. His words don't mean much. Are you talking about oh wait, hold on. He did just call the president of Ukraine Putin. Yeah, he did, right? So it's like, even it's, you know, it's metaphorical speech, you know. This has been going on for a while. Trump has been talking about bloodbaths and all this stuff for a long time. He uses that in his rhetoric, and he's not the only one, right? Like, a lot of political leaders, they use rhetoric like that. I don't want to call it violently charged, but it's definitely rhetoric. It's not great. All right, let's see what else is going on. The CIA. All right, what's going on with the CIA? All right, so the prophecy. I don't know what this is. All right, I think this is just some BS. How does someone get in the building unidentified with a rifle and make it to the rooftop? Secret Service needs to be investigated. This reeks of an inside job. It could be an inside job, but I don't like. Why would the head of the Secret Service resign over this? You can't just get into a Trump rally. But they weren't at a Trump rally. The Trump rally was over here. This is obviously another property. Or maybe it's just me who notices that this is another property. You can tell by, in fact, if this is unclear, you can kind of tell by this bit right here, right? This line right here. These lines don't occur naturally in nature. To me, this line says that whoever surveyed the property, they understand where their land ends, and they make sure that their property is well manicured, and then they don't give any F's about what's happening over here. That's what this looks like to me. This looks like a separate piece of land, completely separate from over here. And again, like, why would they even have to worry about this? So if this were in a city, like a larger city, I would agree, right? Okay. I think they have a little bit more leeway in the city, and because it's a city, it's more densely populated. It's a bigger need to like secure things to a higher degree, because, you know, like, you can't see everyone. However, here it's like, what? There's a few trees. I'm sure they looked at the trees. There's this building over here, but otherwise it's just a big flat field. So maybe that, you know, maybe it's just the situation at hand is, okay, well, this is relatively easy to secure. We don't need to have all these different vantage points. I don't know. I'm just armchair analyzing. Probability of it being an inside job is like 20 to 30. Well, I don't know. Like, I don't know if probabilities work like that. Yeah, here, see this guy right here, right? See? So they're saying that he's looking at that direction, but what they don't really, like, I guess what a lot of these people aren't really thinking about, and I guess I know it inherently because I like cameras, but if he's looking through a scope, mind you, I've never looked through a scope. I've only looked through binoculars. But if he's looking through a scope and it's anything like any other camera, let's say it's something like my Vision Pro that I used to have, chances are you have a very, very limited field of view. So yes, he may be looking in that direction, but if you have a very, very long focal length and a small field of view, you don't see very much. Like you can scan, but I mean, that's all. The farther away stuff is, the more you got to scan. It's harder to find things, but they found it. Like, I'm pretty sure this is the dude who we heard shooting back. Don't. Okay. I don't know. You can, if it was pressed. Yeah, I think this is fake, man. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know about this. Like, what shutter speed, what must they shoot at in order to be able to catch the blur of a bullet? And what's the likelihood that their exposure is set such that they can get both the bullet and President Trump exposed properly? I'm not saying this is fake, but I don't know. I don't know. All right, so FBI and Secret Service allowed the roof to be uncovered. Where was the Secret Service? How did they let us shoot it? Yeah, this is more conspiracy shit. It's, people like myself who don't know how all of this kind of stuff truly works. I guess the difference between me and some of these people is I like to give benefit of the doubt, I understand I don't know this. So it's like, sure, I might be like, oh yeah, hindsight 2020. Well, why weren't they covering this? Why weren't they covering the trees? Why didn't they have heat goggles where they can see body heat? Like, why didn't they have all these other, after a situation happens, it's very easy to go back and say, oh, well, why didn't they do this? Or they should have did that, or X, Y, and Z, or I would have did it this way. It's very easy to do that. Now, maybe security will be revamped as a result. Maybe. I would hope so. Because something like this happening, what I would prefer to see is they respond to later events. They're more prepared for stuff like this. That's really my only hope out of this, is that, something like this doesn't happen again. Hopefully there is no retaliation from people who are obviously angry. I do understand that some of these people are very, very, very pro-Trump, and they may take this as a assault against them. So my hope is that this ends here. The dude's dead. He didn't kill Donald Trump, although he did kill someone else and he injured some other people. But the dude's dead. So my hope is that the people who are still alive aren't looking to try to take vengeance on some made up entity who they think are responsible for this. Because the guy who's responsible is dead. So, I mean, there is nothing else, right? There's nothing else. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And I'll be straight up. I'm not a fan of either one of them. I'm going to be real. However, it would be very bad if anything were to happen to Biden, especially right now. Especially right now. Now, if he dies from natural causes, that's different. But if he dies in some type of violent attack, whether or not it has anything to do with this Trump attack, I think will be irrelevant, because people are going to do what people do, and they're going to try to make connections whether they exist or not. And when that happens, well, yeah, things go south very, very quickly. And that's something that I don't think a lot of people really understand about devolving situations. There's not like this. There's not like a progress bar. It's not a timer. It's a lot of people, I guess they get in their head that, you know, if we're at a war, for instance, which I believe that we're already in World War III at the moment. We've been in it for a couple of years. I think a lot of people think that there's going to be a declaration and that, you know, the media, the TV is going to be this big thing. It's like, oh yeah, we're in World War III. And then they believe it. Now, I don't think that's how it happened. The First World War was ongoing for years. In fact, there's an argument that there was a bunch of things that led up that made it clear that the world was already at war, but you know, we don't really officially count it until you know, a certain period of time happened. But like both of these wars, you know, the first one and the second one, and keep in mind that the first one, there was some stuff going on well before the first one that showed that the world was already at war, but no one really believed it. Also, you know, information wasn't as free or prevalent as it is today. So, you know, it may have taken a while, but that's one thing that I wish more people would understand is that this kind of situation here, this could be like, we could be in a civil war right now. I don't know. I've never been in a civil war to know. And even if, you know, even if I had been, like this one would be different because all wars are different. Shouldn't even be a conversation. We need to be more civilized. I agree, but here's the thing. When you allow society to devolve, when you get rid of the nuclear family, when you remove critical thinking from schools, when you, like all of the things, all of the agendas that we've been pushing over the past 20, 30, 40 years, when these types of things happen, what you create is a population who responds based on emotions. Emotional responses are the worst responses that you can possibly have. Why? It's because you're not thinking critically. You're not really thinking about it at all. You're just going based off of how you feel. And because you feel a certain way at that time, you act irrationally. And sometimes irrational behavior results in other people reacting to that irrational behavior irrationally. And then you get to a point where, you know, people aren't fighting over something that's really tangible. They're fighting over how they feel, which changes every day. So it's a little silly that, you know, that we're I don't know, we no longer have a sense of decorum in this country. It's what it seems like to me. So let's look at some of the things that have been going on, right? So let's look at some of these college protests college protests. Are they not going to be here anymore? All right, well, let's go to YouTube. Maybe you can find it on YouTube. Oh, actually, hold on. Never mind. I want to watch him. Let's see what he has to say. This is Decoy Voice. Let's see what he has to say.
In Butler, Pennsylvania, President Donald Trump was making a speech when someone tried to take his life.
Take a look at what happened.
They actually captured the bullet coming within inches of his skull.
Oh, man. I'm not saying that he didn't. Like, I'm not saying that this is fake. All right. I want to make that clear. I'm not saying that this is fake, but I don't like the fact that this is being portrayed as that, like, we don't know if this is real. Like, we don't know. It could be, but I don't know. I don't know. Anyway.
And in the most iconic moment of our generation, the president didn't cower, didn't crawl away, but got up to tell the people, fight.
I got you, sir. I got you, sir.
Let me get my shoes, sir.
Hold that in your head. It's bloody.
Sir, we gotta move to the bus. Let me get my shoes.
Oh, dude, he had the mic still on. Did you know that? Did you know that, Cruz Azari? Did you hear that? Hold on, let me turn it up slightly. So for what it's worth, I didn't actually watch, I wasn't watching live, obviously. And when I watched it, I didn't hear it with audio. Like they had it playing on the TV at the restaurant that I was at. So I just saw, and they just had it on constant repeat. But yeah, let's listen back to this. I didn't hear any of that.
Let me get my shoes, sir.
Hold that in your head. It's bloody.
Sir, we gotta move to the bus.
So while people may say, "Oh, the Secret Service are incompetent," what I think that people fail to realize is that Donald Trump's another human too. So yes, their job is to protect them, but at the same time, like he has to allow it, right? Like they can't just force him to do anything. So it seems like, because someone was like, "Oh, they're not protecting his head and all that kind of stuff," but from what I can tell, it seems like he got up on his own. They were trying to keep him down, and he's like, "Nah, I need to do these other things." That's what it seems like to me. So you weren't watching live either. But I had Twitter. So did you hear that by any chance? I'm curious. Did you hear what he said, or is this your first time hearing it too? Yeah, I'm gonna go back.
Up to tell the people, fight.
I got you, sir. I got you, sir.
Let me get my shoes, sir.
Hold that in your head. It's bloody.
So we gotta move to the bus.
So what I heard is, "Sir, your head, your body," and he's like, "Nah, let me get my shoes." He's standing up on his own. So yeah, man. See, this is what I mean by, like, I think people are just so like they can't believe that this happened. So now they're just looking for a scapegoat. They're trying to point a finger. This happens all the time. People just want to point fingers. That's what I'm trying to avoid. I don't think that it's appropriate to point fingers and try to direct blame. Like, let's be real. The only person to blame for any of this happening is the shooter. I mean, if you disagree with that, then I don't know what to tell you. That's the only person who has any real blame or responsibility. Like, it's the shooter. How people react, let's be honest. Everyone here in this frame is a victim. I don't think it's appropriate to blame the victims for how they're reacting to some deranged dude who thought it would be appropriate to try to kill someone in front of all of these people. I don't know who's in this audience. I mean, there could be kids here. They're probably like, I mean, obviously they're older men. There's some of everyone here. And someone else did die. So the idea that that's the only person in my mind who is worthy of any blame. Yeah, well, see, this is what I was saying. It could have been adrenaline too. It could have been adrenaline. And you see how he's arguing? He said it again. He's like, "Let me get my shoes."
Watch out.
Bro, oh my God. Man, so this is different hearing it. I did not hear it. This is my first time hearing it, where he's like, wait. And like, they're trying to do their job. Let's be real. He's making it hard for them to do their job. Right? So if we want to point fingers now, all right, let's play the blame game. He's making it harder for them to do their job of protecting him. He's like, "Nah, I'm getting up. Nah, wait, I need to get my shoes. Wait. I need..." This right here is iconic. This will be, assuming that history isn't rewritten. We're already at that point where words are having new meanings, where we're being told that we can't believe what we see, and that we should instead rely on what the chosen media, the mainstream media, we should rely on what they say. That's already happening, right? I wouldn't put it past people to like start changing history. It's already happened. Like, I mean, it's really already happened.
As this image of Trump triumphantly walking away from his assassination attempt immediately brings his next campaign slogan. As the only ad he has to run now is him shouting "fight" with a bullet wound on his face, next to Biden losing his fight with the stairs. Now, I normally like to provide concise, light-order commentary, and in light of this terrible event, I still want to, despite the direction our country is headed, but I do want to highlight that although Trump survived, a random innocent Trump supporter lost their life, with 2 more in critical condition, as people initially thought this was the shooter in the crowd, but a witness described trying to save that innocent person's life.
Somebody over there was screaming, he's been shot. So I made my way.
See, this is what I'm getting at, where it's like, Man, I don't know. We're lost. I think this is what happens to a country or a nation when there is no effective leadership, when all of the structures that resulted in this nation being formed are attacked and dismantled. I think that this is the result. And I think we'll see more of it, unfortunately. This was a huge escalation. This is a huge escalation. And where do you go from here? Yeah, man. Like, that's the thing. Is like, how do you? I don't know. So let's look at some of the tweets in response to Trump shot. Some of the tweets that I saw, and maybe I had to go to a video. Let's go to a video. Let's watch this first. And then if I, bro, Cruz, I'm gonna need you to hold me accountable. All right. If I happen to go off on a tangent, just be like, yo, you said we were going to go watch this other video that shows certain tweets that have been like made about what's happened. All right. So please, try to hold me accountable, bro. Appreciate it.
I said, I'm an emergency department physician. Let me help you. The guy had spun around, was jammed between the benches. He had a headshot here. There's lots of blood.
Oh.
And he had brain matter there.
As it's not confirmed as of yet, but this story about the shooter is starting to sound true.
We noticed the guy crawling, bear crawling up the roof of the building beside us, 50 feet away from us.
And he had a gun, right?
He had a rifle.
Since I'm watching this is Decoy Voice.
We're pointing now.
I'll share a link to his
down there
video
running around on the ground. We're like, hey,
if y'all are interested.
There's a guy on the roof with a rifle. And the police were like, huh, what? Like they didn't know what was going on. Next thing you know, 5 shots ring out.
So you're certain that the shots came from that guy on the roof?
100%. 100%.
Did they see him?
Probably not, because the roof, the way the slope went, he was behind where they could see. But why is there not Secret Service on all of these roofs here? I mean, this is not a big place.
As there was corroborating footage of a man on that roof that later showed authorities taking that body into custody, which makes the shot attempt at over 150 yards away. So over a football field away, the fate of our country was decided by 1 inch. Now the media immediately tried to downplay this as shards of a teleprompter that hit Trump's head, but we can't expect much from these scumbags as they tout commentary like this after he gets shot and his supporter actually loses their life.
Donald Trump and the people around him perceive themselves to be under threat, and that's all that matters. That is not legitimate. That is wrong. You hear the screams from the audience. People are terrified.
And CNN initially...
Did she say they perceive themselves to be in? This is what I mean, this gaslighting. Where you can't believe your own senses anymore. Oh, my gosh.
Actually downplayed it on their front page with a headline reading...
Wait, hold on, wait. That was their front page?
Terrified?
And CNN...
Wow, okay. Okay. So CNN, they believe that what's happening around on the other side of Earth is more important than what happens here in our country involving someone potentially being assassinated. Okay.
Initially
Sure.
downplayed it on their front page with a headline reading that Trump just fell at the rally. Washington Post said the shots were just loud noises. So NBC News, USA Today, and the Los Angeles Times all marched in lockstep to call an assassination attempt loud noises. But this is pretty much on brand with fiery but mostly peaceful. And if the mainstream media wasn't bad enough...
All right, so I do remember when those, I don't want to call them protests, well, let's call them lootings, because that's what was happening. They were looting and destroying property. Somehow they were characterized as peaceful protesters. Again, the gaslighting. Breaking: the insect that attempted to assassinate Trump has been identified to the New York Post as Thomas Matthew Crooks. He lived in Bethel Park. Let me put this up. He lived in Bethel Park, Pennsylvania, some 20 miles from where the event was held. Thomas Matthew Crooks. Okay, let me pull it up. Thomas Matthew Crooks. I don't know. Let's put it in. Oh, did I spell it wrong? Maybe. Oh, okay. Yeah, my bad. I spelled it wrong. All right. So, rally. Wow. He's 20 years old. Oh my, the dude's 20? Are you even a fully grown man, adult at 20? We have arrested development in our country. I do know in the past, men were men starting around 15. But it's progressively gotten pushed back over time as we coddle our children. The fact that this dude is 20. Yeah, we're doomed. Is this Gen Z? No, this isn't Gen Z. What's the generation that's like, hold on, let's see. American generations. Yeah, Gen Z. This is a Gen Z dude. Oh man. Okay. Who knows if that's true? Yeah, I agree. Like, we don't know if it's true yet, but we will know eventually, I think. By the way, I was looking at it on X. It is coming from New York Post, so I mean, they are credible. I in this situation, like the fact that they have a name, yeah, this could be the person. I don't know. Let's see here. You're older than me. Hell no, you aren't. Wait, who's aren't? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What are we talking about? My bad. This is crazy. Men used to be married at 20. Shit, like the founders of our country were not old. Just let that sink in. The founders of our country, like, some of the most prolific men, the godfathers of our nation, were not old. They had accomplished a lot before they were 25. So yeah, man, this is man, I don't even know, man. This is what's crazy is that I wasn't thinking anything was going to happen here. I had been looking at the situation happening in France because of the Olympics that are currently there right now. So I was thinking about that. I'm like, man, I hope things, the games can go. I know that the world is going through a lot right now. And, there are a lot of real problems that people are facing all around the world. And I do understand that a lot of these games, like, a lot of people are upset that, the focus is on that instead of making life better for themselves. And I do understand that a really important election or result was just arrived at in France. And I think that there's some protests as well as, people who are for it and all that kind of stuff happening right now. So my concern was, like, let's hope that the Olympics, even though I'm not watching, I don't care about Olympics anymore, but, like, let's hope that all of these athletes who, like, let's be honest, they're there to compete, right? Like, for some of these people, this is their dream come true. Despite all the political shit, like, let's just pretend that people have their own lives outside of politics and they're just trying to accomplish it, right? So, we have all these athletes who are potentially at the Olympics for the first time, trying to compete, trying to, win gold for their nation, for their country, for themselves, their family, whatever. And, you know, there are other people who they see that as a target. So that's why I'm like, that's where my mind was. I was not thinking that we would see anything like this. And like here, especially now. Didn't Isaac Newton invent calculus and all these other things before he turned 25? Dude straight up invented a field of math all before 26 or something. I forget how old he was when he invented calculus. Okay, all right. So we got an ID. I mean, it doesn't really matter. He's dead. Unless they have something about him, like, you know, maybe he was, I don't know. All right, let's see what this is talking about. Oh, before I get distracted again, let's go here. Let's see what people have to say.
Limousine liberal political commentators are somehow worse.
He's clip farming harder than the new crop of FaZe talent. He's like FaZe Ronaldo. He's clip farming harder than Jinxie. He keeps throwing up his fucking fist.
Many of these Trump.
And as it initially trended on Twitter.
So again, same argument. I think that people cannot believe that it's true. That this happened. I think that's what this is. Like, I mean, he's going in on him. I'm not about to go in on him like that. I think that he may have thought that this is fake. I mean, hell, we're being told that we can't believe what we see on TV. There is even a new term that's been thrown around lately called a cheap fake. You know, so it's like, I can understand why somebody would see this and be like, oh no, he's doing this for views, clicks, and all that kind of stuff, because that's the culture that we live in. And a lot of our younger people, that's what they think about. They know the world, the universe is what you perceive. And a lot of younger people know, for whatever reason, like, it's all about attention, clout, how many followers, clicks, all these things. So it makes sense that, you know, someone who's terminally online would think that way. And for what it's worth, I am also someone who's online quite a lot. But at the same time, I recognize that fact. So I know that I have to have a higher level of critical thinking, because you can put whatever you want on the internet. Hoaxes exist. You know, that's why there are people who are in power who take advantage of that. They know that these things work, and they use it to their advantage to exploit people. Unlike my generation that are too busy smoking and drinking. Well, so let's say this. All right. So yeah, you have a lot of folks in your generation who are doing those types of things. But here's where I'm gonna push back, right? Why do you think that is? Like, that's the thing that's like, you know, I can sit here. It's easy to say, oh yeah, like, oh, y'all are doing all these things. Sure, whatever, fine. Y'all are doing all those things, but there's always a root cause to everything. There's a reason why, you know, a lot of your generation are resorting to drugs and alcohol. Let's just think about, well, I guess you weren't here, so you don't know. But like, when I was growing up, I spent a lot of my time outside with people outside. So like my friends and other people outside. So, you know, you're talking to strangers. You're outside all day. I didn't really have video game consoles when I was growing up. That wasn't really a big thing. What you did was, at least what I did, is go to the park. There are people playing basketball. Yeah, you got next. You don't know the people. Y'all build a relationship over time after, you know, seeing each other at the park. And then, you know, over time you learn names and all that kind of stuff. Even when I used to go to the gym, when I used to work out, a lot of times, and I started working out when I was relatively young. But when I would go to the gym, a lot of times I didn't know anyone. But because that's just, you know, just how life was back then, you meet people at the gym because the same people are there every day for the most part. And, you know, one day it's like, you know, hey man, I need a spot. Can you help me out? After a few times of that, you see them, you giving them a nod. Eventually y'all, you know, you get to know people's names. And you, like, these are the things that we had. We got to build relationships in person. Whereas your generation, you were born with the internet. And I think that the internet is both good and bad for connecting people. And the reason why I say that is it makes it frictionless to reach out to other people. But at the same time, it also makes it incredibly easy to ignore people. So, your generation is faced with more loneliness than my generation ever faced, as well as the generation before me. Like I was raised by a boomer, believe it or not. So it's just yeah, I can understand why, some of you resort to what you're doing. Like there doesn't seem to be any pathway toward that American dream, which, you have to be asleep to believe it. But like, there's no real pathway to it anymore. Like this idea that you can go to school, you can graduate, because that's what it was when I was younger, or at least with the generation before me. They can just go to high school and graduate and count on getting a good job that they can use to take care of themselves and to build a family and to do all of these things. I don't think y'all have that option. My generation was the generation where we were all told you need to go to college. If you want a job, you want a good job, you have to go to college. And a lot of us believed it. And a lot of us went to college and a lot of us didn't get good jobs. Right. So every generation has its thing, but I think that the problems with your generation is especially bad because, let's be real, who raised you? Like, who raised your generation? Partially my generation and Gen X. So, no, I don't blame y'all. It's so many people are born in the single parent households now. So many people are born into like situations where it seems like it's impossible for them to get out of that situation. What people want to escape from that. And we now have easier access to drugs than ever before. So it makes sense that that's what people would do. It's a form of escapism. Straight up. Same. I grew up on the beach basically. So maybe I don't know, maybe that's why you're thinking a little bit differently, but you always got to keep in mind that whenever you see someone behaving a certain kind of way, you can't just say, oh, it's just them. Like you have to think and like, how did they get to here? Because no one is born a certain way. This is where I believe in like the nature versus nurture. I think stuff like that is through nurture. Like I think our nature is morality doesn't really exist in nature. That's very much a nurture thing. That's in culture, right? So I can't blame people for the situations that they were brought up in. Now, at the same time, I think we should hold them accountable, but that's something that we seem to be doing away with in our country, where you can do something bad and then nothing happens. For whatever reason, like I think we need to get away from that. Real talk. All right, let's see what else they got.
Two of the top stories were "You Had One Job" and "Staged," which really shows how disgusting politics have become online, as sadly, most conservatives and centrists see these liberal vote blue no matter who NPCs and just view them.
I think that he's trying, I don't know, I mean, obviously he has a political channel now, but I don't think that those thoughts were political in nature. So this is where I disagree. Like, I think he's making it political, but I don't think that people saying that this is fake or staged or they have one job, I don't think that those were politically motivated statements. I think that they're rooted in they can't believe it. Because I mean, like, who in their right mind would think, you know what? Like, this is something that happens in America. This isn't something that happens in America often. In fact, it happens so rarely that we can damn near name all of the people who've been like leaders, big leaders, who've been assassinated in our country or attempted to be assassinated. I can think of a few just straight off the top, and I literally mean a few. There was Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, John F. Kennedy, I think Ronald Reagan was shot. Was he shot? Was that Ronald Reagan? I think Ronald Reagan shot. Yeah. So it was him. Yes. These are the only ones that I can think of. And like in 50 or 60 years? Oh, Ronald Reagan was 1981. So okay. So 40 or 50 years. That's a long time. Actually, let me do math. I'm not going to do the math. We're going to have my computer do it. 1981. Yes, over 40 years. That's the last time that something like this happened. So if you were a kid, you were 5 years old when this happened, you're damn near 50. So I can understand why a lot of people are just like, their first thought is like, oh no, this is fake. This can't be real, because we live in this type of environment where, we have AI. We have a bunch of fake videos. We have mainstream media telling us that we can't believe what we see. We have this idea that we live in a post-war world. That's something that a lot of Americans, a lot of younger Americans at least, they used to think that, oh no, we don't have wars anymore. The world's changed. It's just like, it's interesting that these people are saying that because they've never been out in the world. They're so young. They've never done anything. They haven't accomplished anything yet. They haven't left the country yet. And then they have this belief, this make belief that the world is one way, and it's based off of what they've been told and not what they've experienced. And the unfortunate fact is there are very few Americans who've experienced anything. Yeah, man, you do. Like, you have to trust yourself. At the end of the day, like, you are the only person who cares about your survival. Like, you may have other people saying, oh no, we care. At the end of the day, if it's you or them, they will always choose themselves, unless it's your family. That's generally the only exception. So your dad's right. You should listen to your instincts. You shouldn't trust the instincts of others. Why should you trust them? Unless you built that up, but even then, you should still have your own instincts and check whatever someone else is telling you against how you feel. At the same time, you should also just be wary or be mindful that you may have blind spots. And this is something that I realize I have, which is why I make sure I have people around me who think differently from me. You may not believe this, but I don't really enjoy people who think exactly like me or have the same beliefs as me. I don't think that it makes me better. I think it makes me worse. So I need other people who have different experiences and different viewpoints, who hold different opinions, to be around me, because if I lose them, then all of a sudden I'm just like everyone else, and I'm in this echo chamber, and I'm over here thinking that everything I say is right, even if it could be right. I also want people to challenge, because I think that thought is a collective thing, right? Like, like education is no one learns anything alone. We all learn from others. So with that in mind, you should have as many people around you who think as differently as you do, so that you can draw from their perspectives. This is what makes you a smart person. Someone who's wise. You can pull different perspectives from different people. I think that's really, really, really important to do. All right, let's go ahead and let's try to finish
terribly
this.
Misguided, brainwashed, and or emotionally manipulated. But these leftists see the America First conservatives as something that needs to be eliminated. Because I'll tell you right now, I don't like Biden, but I just don't want him in.
So I think what he just said is premature. He just said, wait, what did he say? He said something about liberals or something being, I don't see. Hold on, let me see. Let me make sure.
NPCs, and just view them as conservatives and centrists. See these liberal, vote blue, no matter who NPC.
So the fact that we don't even know the person yet. How do we know that this was politically motivated from that standpoint? Like, how do we know that this was some liberal person? We don't know that yet. This is dangerous, because people are quick to jump to conclusions without really fully understanding what's happening. This is dangerous. And here's the problem with that. We no longer teach critical thinking in schools. We now have this idea that the people with the most followers, with the most views, with the most likes, with the most clicks, whatever, the most money, that they somehow know more than people who don't have that. And that's what's a little worrisome. I'm not saying he has any ill will, but I wish that he wouldn't have added to the strife. Like this is essentially pointing the finger, which if I'm like, I don't think that's what we should be doing right now, because when you point the finger, people become defensive and it becomes that much harder to work together, which is, I think, what we need. We need unity, not pointing fingers and, like, it's fine to point fingers in a private forum. I'm fine with that. You're at the barbershop, sure, do whatever. You hang with your buddies, sure, do whatever. You're in a private Discord or a private like chat channel, whatever, do whatever, say whatever. But I think that there comes a time where you have to understand that not everyone has the ability to hold nuanced thoughts in their mind. Not everyone has the ability to look at something like what I'm doing here and say, you know what, like, we don't know, so you can't say this yet. Like, we don't, as far as I'm concerned, this was a lone individual who attempted to take out the president. That's as far as I know. And when I say I know, even that's a little shaky because it's based off of what the media is reporting. I don't know his motivations. I don't know his political standing. I don't know if he had mental issues. I don't know if he wrote some manifesto where he's doing something because he believes that X, Y, or Z needs to have. There's a lot of unknowns. And to publish a video and then present information as if it is 100% fact, that's concerning to me. Whether I agree with them or not is irrelevant. It's just, I don't think that something like this type of video so soon after it happened, before facts are known, I don't think this was the right move. You need smart people, different opinions to keep you in check. Honestly, you need more than just smart people. Turns out people who are smart aren't always that smart. There's people who are intelligent. There are people who know a lot about a specific thing. There are people who are smart in certain areas. Like some people may be incredibly good with math, but if you ask them to put together something, they couldn't do it to save their lives. So I don't know if they need to be smart. They just need to be different from you. You can learn something from anyone, even people who you are quote unquote smarter than. You can learn from them as well. You could also learn from people who are poorer than you. You can learn from people who are younger than you, people who don't even speak your language. You can learn from everyone. So, it's not just smart people, it's everyone.
And just view them as terribly misguided, brainwashed, and or emotionally manipulated. But these leftists see the America First conservatives as something that needs to be eliminated. Because I'll tell you right now, I don't like Biden, but I just don't want him in power. I don't want anything to happen to him. But luckily for us, Trump is alright, as he immediately took to social media to thank the Secret Service and law enforcement, give his condolences to the supporter that lost their life and the others that were injured, to confirm that he was hit with a bullet, not a teleprompter, and God bless America. But over an hour after the shooting, Biden took to the stage to downplay the incident.
Okay. Mr. President, do you think this was an assassination attempt?
I don't know enough to. I have an opinion, but I don't have any facts.
I don't think this is downplaying. Do you think this is downplaying? I don't think that this is downplaying. I think he said, honestly, I think that's an appropriate response. I don't know the facts. We're still figuring this out. Of course, I can sit here and say, I think it's an assassination attempt. I'm not the president. I don't have hundreds of millions of people scrutinizing every single thing that I say. I barely have 2 people doing it. I have a person. I have you, Cruz. You're the only one here, who's scrutinizing what I say. I think that what he said is appropriate given the amount of scrutiny he receives. I think that's appropriate. I don't consider that downplaying, and this is interesting that he thinks that this is a downplay of what the events were. I'm gonna play it again.
And God bless America. But over an hour after the shooting, Biden took to the stage to downplay the incident.
Mr. President, do you think this was an assassination attempt?
I don't know enough to. I have an opinion, but I don't have any facts.
There we go. I have an opinion. I don't have any facts. And it seems like he was thinking about his words. Like, I know it's easy to poke fun at him right now. But like in this sense, it literally seems like he was thinking about the appropriate response. And that had he said that, yes, this was an assassination attempt, maybe that causes bigger issues. So instead what he does is he says that, you know what? I don't know. Like, we're still figuring, like, we don't have all the facts. And he even states it. I have an opinion, and I don't know if he shared it. Let's see if he shared his opinion.
So I want to make sure we have all the facts before I make any more comments.
Was that not an appropriate response? I mean, so that's the thing. So this is where we really need to understand the difference between a fact and an opinion. When we say we know that it's an assassination attempt, let's be clear. We don't know that. We have a strong conviction that that's the case. That's an opinion. We don't know it for sure yet. Now, I think that it's an assassination, but this is the difference, right? Like, this is an opinion. I don't know. I'm just saying this. We can turn the TV on tomorrow and then actually there's like, oh, it's a cheap fake. And then it's like, haha, I got you, bitch. You know, all of us, we're over here thinking that like it was assassination and it was all fake. I'm not saying it is fake. It's just like, it's very important to distinguish between facts and opinions. Right now, we don't know yet. Now, that being said, I think that it was an assassination attempt. But I think we can be very clear here that, you know, what I think doesn't make it a fact. Just because a lot of people think it doesn't make it a fact. There was once upon a time where the majority of people thought, in fact, that the earth was flat. The majority of people thought that all of the stars, the planets revolved around Earth. There was once a point where we thought that the atom, and we thought, no, just because everyone thinks it's true doesn't make it true. We thought that the atom was the smallest possible unit that we can have, until we learned that now there are actually things that are smaller than atoms. So hopefully you get where I'm going. I'm not saying it's not the case, but at the same time, I don't want to just be like, oh yeah, like he's downplaying it. I don't think he's downplaying it. I think that he's doing what someone in his position should do, which is to say, you know what, like, no, this is a politically charged moment right now. There's a lot of, you know, stuff going on. Let's not add to it. Let's just say, you know, I don't know yet. TD, I mean, it may be. But I don't know where you came in, James. But I'm gonna assume that you just came in and you didn't see what I was talking about. This is a separate argument, but what I'm talking about is what he said here, where he says that hold on here. Let me play it back.
Bullet, not a teleprompter, and God bless America. But over an hour after the shooting, Biden took to the stage to downplay the incident.
That right there. That's what I'm talking about. So I don't agree with this, with him saying that he came here and he downplayed it. And what he's saying is a downplay. Here, let me play it again.
Okay. Mr. President, do you think this was an assassination attempt?
I don't know enough to. I have an opinion, but I don't have any facts.
There he goes. He says, I don't know. I have an opinion, but I don't have any facts. He didn't answer the question. Let's be clear. The question was, do you think something happened? And I mean, this is anyone who's been trained with talking to the media is like, you know, like he's saying, you know what? I have an opinion. He didn't state what his opinion was. I'm pretty sure he also thinks that it's an assassination attempt. But at the same time, is that what you need to say when potentially hundreds of millions of people are watching you? When people are angry and upset? when something of this magnitude has just occurred? Is that really what you want to say at this point? I think what he said was, I mean, I'm not even a fan of the dude, but like, we'll be honest. I think that was an appropriate response. I mean, do we, like, I don't know if it's equal. I don't know if that's blowing off. I don't think that's blowing off. I think he said the truth. That's honesty. He doesn't know. He has an opinion. He didn't say what his opinion was, and maybe he could have shared his opinion, but why? Like, what would that do? How would that improve the situation by us knowing what his opinion is? Let's be real. The person who did the thing is dead. So from my perspective, like justice has been served. Like at this point, we don't need to, like, the dude who did the thing is no longer here. He got his top blown off. End the story. We're done. We can move on. He's done. Now, I know they're going to do an investigation. And as that investigation goes, they're going to start to learn. And then we can establish facts backed by evidence, which is the rule of law in our country, right? Like that's the thing, is that when bad things happen, you can't just throw out the rule of law and how we are meant to operate as a country, especially someone like him. Now, you and I, we can do that all day because we're just normal people. We can do whatever we want. But this dude, nah, I'm not going to say that, yeah, he's downplaying it. I don't agree with that one. It just sounds to me that he's stating the truth, because he doesn't know. And I'm choosing words here. And I don't know if you know me very well, but words have meaning to me. Know and think are not the same thing. He said, I don't know. Also, I don't know. I'm just saying what I think based off of zero evidence, right? So I wasn't there. I didn't see any of it. So, everything that I have to go by is the few clips that I've seen of the thing. I didn't see the dude actually pull the trigger. I'm not saying he didn't. I'm pretty sure he did. I didn't see any other things. I don't know. I just learned what the dude's name is. We don't know what his political affiliation is. What we do know, I think, I don't know if it's been confirmed, but according to the Times, I think, who shared it? Cruz. Yeah, Cruz shared it. That they think that they found out who the person is. Here, let me see if I can find that right quick for you. Maybe you're already aware of this too. I don't know, but this guy. So they managed to identify the person. Yeah, we don't need to watch that. So yeah, he was identified as a 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks. This is all we know so far. He's 20 years old. This man has never voted. let's just keep it a buck. He has never voted. Because, he's 20 now. And the last election was almost 4 years ago. He wouldn't have been old enough to vote. So yeah, it's like we know very little about this person so far. But I expect over the next few days that we will learn a lot more about this person. And then my strong thoughts, my strong convictions may turn into, okay, well, this is fact. This is accepted by, people because we have evidence, and sure. All right. Yeah. But I don't like to jump the gun, especially for stuff like this. I don't know if you've ever been wrong in your life, but a lot of people are wrong in general. So knowing that people can be wrong, I think it's more important to slow down and wait to make sure that you are correct. And then, you go from there. But let's see. I don't know what you're referring to here. He was disappointed as fuck. Just missed. Who are you talking about? Who is just missed? Who is just missed? I don't know who that is. A non-binary Marxist. I don't know who that is either. This person? Oh, you're saying, hold on. Oh, do they know who he is now? Do they have some more information about this person? Actually, if you can't share links. I don't know if he's disappointed, bro. Have you seen Biden in the past few months? He always looks like he's asleep. I don't know. I'm not gonna look at his parents like that, because maybe his Adderall didn't kick in. You know, maybe whatever they pump him up in order to be able to go in front of people hadn't really got in there. You know, because like real talk, he be looking different when he's on, like when he's in front of the press with cameras. He looks very different from any other situation. I think they be pumping him up with stuff, so maybe he just didn't get his full dose. It didn't really come in all the way. It didn't kick him in the ass like it's meant to. But yeah, I don't have any other information about this person. Let's see what we know about him. Let's see here. Photos tell you. I didn't look at the photo. Oh, you're talking about the photo here? Are you talking about here? I don't know. Let me look. Because honestly, he looks just like he just looks
not a teleprompter.
How he's
God
been looking
bless America.
lately.
But over an hour after the shooting, Biden took to the stage to downplay the incident.
Mr. President, do you think this was an assassination attempt?
I don't know enough to. I have an opinion, but I don't have any facts. So
I don't know if that's a look of disappointment. But maybe you're talking about somewhere else. Let's go to. Okay, maybe this is the wrong place to be. All right, so there's no more here. So I guess maybe I'll have to find, or maybe you can share. If you share a Twitter link, you can't share the link. All right, so if you're thinking about sharing links for whatever reason, YouTube blocks it. You can't share links. It's not my rule. But what you can do is if you have a search term that can get me directly to whatever you're looking at. If it's on Google, just send the search term and I can dump it here. Or if it's a Twitter thing, here's what you could do. Assuming that you're not on a phone. All right. So if you're on a phone and this won't work, I don't have a solution for you. But what you could do if you're on a desktop is you come here and you do the share and you copy the link. And let me show what the link looks like. So if you look at this link, what you can do is you can take this ID right here. And if you share that ID, I can pull up the thing and we can look at it together. Antifa, know the shooter. Oh, okay, my bad. Okay. His name is out there. Yeah. I was just looking at it. Oh, you're on the phone? Okay, yeah, you won't be able to do it then. You can't, for whatever reason, YouTube won't let you share links. What the hell is that? What is this?
2 minutes, 14 seconds. A new personal best. Nice job, Alyssa. My name is Mike Franklin, and I'm the founder of Scare Shit and Spit, fitness regime that's fueled by fear.
Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Yeah, the dude is only 20, bro. That's the thing. It's like the dude's only 20. He's not even. Oh man. I don't know. It's so disappointing. But let's keep in mind, right? I don't care how you feel about Biden. I don't really care how you feel about Trump. Neither one of them are to blame for any of this. The only person is the dude who pulled the trigger. Now, some arguments can be made that, all of the political, whatever, the environment, the social environment, sure, we can say that it's these two men's fault. But to say that removes agency from my life, which you won't do that with me. I believe that we are all individuals with our own minds, with our own thoughts, with the ability to determine what actions we take in life. And I also extend that same thing to others. Like I assume that you also are able to, make decisions for yourself. And I don't like the fact that, people say, oh, it's this person's fault that we are the way that we are. When in reality, it's like, no, it's not 100% their fault. I'm not saying that they don't have any type of what is it? Like they shouldn't have any type of accountability for it. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that I can't absolve everyone else of any accountability, because at the end of the day, this is a nation composed of individuals, right? So like it's all of us. It's not just this person. And yeah, they may have an outsized impact. They are one individual. I'm not disagreeing with that. But at the same time, just because they may do or say certain things doesn't mean that we have to react in a certain kind of way. And to give another example, which maybe you'll resonate with, maybe, I don't know. But let's say Nazi Germany. A lot of times here in our country, we like to say, how could they all have done this? Surely one of them could have did X, Y, or Z. And it's like, if we can point the finger at these other people and say, oh, well, these people should have stopped X, Y, or Z, then I think we should also be able to point the finger back at ourselves and say, you know what? We should be able to stop X, Y, or Z. And the fact that this was a young person who does this, to me, it's more of an indicator of society degenerating in general, like deteriorating, right? Like, I don't know his family status. I don't know what he's going through, but I mean, I like to think that there's a root cause for everything. And, it's, sure, we can say, oh, it's Trump, but it's like, okay, well, why did Trump get elected? And then we can say, oh, well, these things were happening. Okay, well, why were these things happening, right? Like there's more to things than just saying, oh, this person is the reason or this event is the reason. Generally, it's a combination of things, right? At least that's been my experience, and what I've noticed in history is that there's very rarely a singular event that's the cause for anything. It's generally like a confluence of events all happening, at the right time, quote unquote, and things kind of blow up from there. And there might be a catalyst that happens that we can point to, but oftentimes it's a lot of little things that happen. They add up over time and they blow up to something like this. You're on a phone. Okay. Free will is a hoax. I don't know. I think I have free will. The Germans were like the woke. Oh, dude, there is a video that I have it on my thing. I wanted to watch it live with some of you. I don't know if I'll do it today, but I'll share the video. Let me. Oh wait, I put it in my Slack. Let me go open up Slack right quick. Wait, was it Weimar? Yeah, let's just look for Weimar. So I'll share this link. Y'all, I mean, if you want, you can go and watch it whenever you like. Both socialist false flags. Sorry, I just now saw your message, Chris. My bad. We all know it's an assassination attempt, but yeah, we don't know. We don't have the hard fact. Well, see, that's how can you know without the evidence? That's my thing. But so far, yeah, like, I mean, I'm not saying I don't think it is. I'm just saying I don't know yet. All right. Let's see what else we got. What else is going on the Twitters? President of the United States. Okay, let's see what's happening here. Every American should watch this video, especially those on the left who are about to start preaching about lowering the temperature. This was the President of the United States, dehumanizing and vilifying 35% of the country on primetime TV. This is the rhetoric to blame. Okay, let's see.
Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our
Wait, hold on. What are you asking? What's the false? What are you asking? Is this a false flag? What are you talking about? Are you talking about this assassination attempt? Remember, I think it's one too, but like I'm very clear. I don't know. I think it is. If you're talking about this assassination attempt, then I don't know. Like, I don't know. That's what I mean. Like, I literally don't know. I'm not just saying that just to say it. Yeah, I have no idea, bro. No idea. And what I'm unwilling to do is to just start making up stuff and just putting it out there because, that would be a disservice, right? So I'd rather, wait to know. And then based off of that, I probably wouldn't like go out here and just start putting it out there, but I would speak my opinion based off of these new facts, based off of what we now know. So it could be, it may not be. I don't know. Let's see what he's saying here.
But there's no question that the Republican Party today is dominated, driven, and intimidated by Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans. And that is a threat to this country. MAGA Republicans do not respect the Constitution. They do not believe in the rule of law. They do not recognize the will of the people. MAGA forces are determined to take this country backwards to an America.
All right, so I don't like the rhetoric, but here's my challenge. Are we just going to remove agency from everyone and say that, you know what, like he's saying this and now we're just fucking deer and we're just going to believe it? Because he's saying these words and I'm not, the thing that's running through my mind is like, oh yeah, like just believe. Thing that's running through my mind is you're saying that everyone is a certain way, and I know that there is no situation where everyone is any kind of way. Right? Like he's making a lot of claims, but there's nothing to back it up. They're just claims. Rhetoric. Exactly what it is. Rhetoric. It's just rhetoric. I think that regular people deserve some accountability for the things that they are led to believe. The fact that we have a gullible population is probably not his fault directly or anyone else's fault. Like that's a much bigger issue than him. And it's going to exist after him. And this is the thing, is that these types of things have been going on for years before he even existed. And it's going to continue to go on even after he's gone. The only thing that changes is who you point the finger at. And what I've noticed is that everyone is always very quick to point a finger at someone else. Very few are willing to point the finger at themselves and say, you know what, like I have agency and I have the ability to act or not react or to do whatever based off of what I hear. Like this is kind of where I'm at. Hell, y'all are seeing it in live in real time where it's like, you know, both sides are saying stuff and I'm over here saying, you know what, like, no, I'm not buying any of it. Not just at face value, but I think for myself, right? So I guess that may be a difference. And the decoy voice guy, like I'm subscribed to him. I don't know if you knew this. I actually like his content. He's pretty funny. And you know, like I'm not a Trump fan. I'm also not a Biden fan. Believe it or not, I hate them both. Full disclosure. So it's like I can understand that I don't like either one and still look at what they're saying and like remove the fact that I don't like them out of it. Like just be like, no. At least I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm only capable of that, but I don't think I am. I think other people are too. I just don't know if they are.
Where there is no right to choose, no right to privacy, no right to contraception, no right to marry who you love. Trump and the extreme MAGA Republicans quote a clear and present danger to our democracy. But while the threat to American democracy is real, I want to say as clearly as we can, we are not powerless in the face of these threats. MAGA Republicans have made their choice. They embrace anger. They thrive on chaos. They live not in the light of truth, but in the shadow of lies. We've told ourselves that American democracy is guaranteed, but it's not. We have to defend it, protect it, stand up for it, each and every one of us. We're all called by duty and conscience to confront extremists.
Okay, so that last phrase that he said, I agree with that. Hold on, let me put that back.
Protect it. In the shadow of lies,
Not that part,
ourselves that
but here.
American democracy is guaranteed.
That right there. I agree with that. Democracy isn't guaranteed. And yes, you do have to do things. Now, I'm getting like, hopefully you can understand that. Like I can take what someone says and pull it out and then just be like, that thing right there, I agree with. What he just said there is right. Now, if he were to go and say, oh, well, we need to protect it from these people, I don't agree with that. But I think that someone can say something and, 95% of it I disagree with. I can still be like, yeah, there are some things that I agree with, like you have to defend things. It's straight up. Like, I mean, whether it's, from foreign actors, from people who don't want it, like you have to defend things. I can't disagree with that one.
But it's not. We have to defend it, protect it, stand up for it. Each and every one of us. We're all called by duty and conscience to confront extremists who put their own pursuit of power above all else. We must be stronger, more determined, and more committed to saving American democracy than MAGA Republicans are to destroying American democracy. MAGA Republicans look at America and see.
All right, so I got to be fair. What political leader doesn't do this or doesn't say these types of things about the opposing party? I can just as easily find the same types of things that are coming from the conservatives. I can find the same types of things coming from different politicians in other countries that have nothing to do with America. They always blame each other. That's what politicians do. They point the finger at others. I mean, they'll blame you if they could. If they didn't need your vote to get back in our country, they'll blame you. I'm not going to be like, oh, well, because they're pointing the finger at you, I'm believing that it's your fault. It's like, nah. And yeah, you might be right. Yeah, some people are going to believe it, and sure. And this is why I said earlier, which is like, I think that his response, wherever it was, I forgot what it was, where I was like, he said that he doesn't know the facts. He has an opinion. He didn't share it. That's why I said I think that was the appropriate response. And in that moment, that's what I'm getting at, which is like, I understand that, he's saying words, and I also understand that there are other people on the other side of those words who are interpreting it and filtering it through their experiences, through like what they think. Whether or not, he's saying to God to do something, I don't think he's saying to God to do anything like that. But I do understand how, people can be radicalized into believing whatever based off of rhetoric. I do understand that, which is why I think that his response was appropriate, which is, I don't know. Like, we don't know the facts yet. We'll get the facts soon. And I'm pretty sure he's going to get the facts very soon. We all call to confront. Biden doesn't believe half the things doesn't actually believe half the things. Honestly, does he even know what he's saying, or is he just reading? Got to keep that in mind. Like, a lot of these folks are busy. They're not writing these speeches. There's teleprompters there, and they read it. So it's like he could just be reading what what he was told to say. There's a difference between running for president and real life. What do you mean? I don't know if I understand. I don't understand what you mean. This rhetoric creates assassins. Well, we've had this kind of rhetoric for a while. So while you may be right, we've had this kind of rhetoric for at least 20 years. Since I've been old enough to pay attention to this kind of stuff. So I started paying closer attention to this kind of stuff when I was around 15, 16. I'm now 35. So for not 20 years, I'm sorry. Wait, how old am I? Hold on, wait, shit, am I that old? Hold on, wait a minute. Was I 15, 20 years ago? Fuck. Shit, I am that old. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. Wait. I was 15, 20 years ago? Yeah. Damn. All right, man. Wow. Okay. Shit. Time is going by fast. All right. Man, that. Oh my gosh. 20 years ago. Wow. That's. Oh, okay. All right. I don't know. Something just hit me. You have to say those extreme things to get elected. Yeah, that's the thing, is that this is one thing that I've noticed. That's what gets people going. And it's not just them. So like, this is why you got to look at things in context, right? Look at what media is doing, like the mainstream media. Look at what types of stuff gets promoted on YouTube and on Instagram and on TikTok. Have you noticed that there's a lot of sensationalism? There's a lot of just like what it is, the people who are doing the pranks. I think that right there is a really good look. It's like a microcosm of like what's really going on. It's like you got to do more and more to get attention. And the reason for that is that, you're rewarded for it. People are attracted to that kind of stuff. It gets the eyeballs, it gets the clicks, it gets the attention. It generates the ad revenue. There's money in it. There's a lot of money in fear mongering. So turns out that these people who are trying to get into office, they know this. The people who they hire to consult and to give them guidance in their campaigns, they know this. They have these strategies, built by dozens of people, and they just go out and execute it. And I mean, shit, like we can sit here all day and say, that's bad, that's wrong, and all that kind of stuff. But you want to know what else it is? It works. It works. They're using human nature, and it's working for them. So it's like, that's why I'm like, we can't absolve ourselves of any responsibility. That's what I mean. Like, sure, they can do whatever they want. They can say whatever they want, but we still we still can exercise, our critical thought to either buy in or not buy in. So, while, both of them are saying things, that doesn't mean that I have to accept it at face value. That's what I'm getting at. Hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully you can understand that. Like, I like nuance more than just being like, oh yeah, this is all that. Let's see here. Hear that we're all called to confront. Biden doesn't. Okay. There's a difference between running for president in real life. I don't know if I understand, but I agree. I guess, but no, never mind. I can't agree. I don't know what you're saying. Elaborate, or maybe you did. I'll get to you. I'll get to it. You have, yeah, I agree. You have to say things to get elected. I don't know if that's as a Dem, or are you saying that you're a Democrat? Okay. Or are you saying that as a Democrat, you have to say things to get elected? Because I don't think that's true. Just if you're a Democrat, I think that's on both sides. Like in general, you have to say extreme things to do anything. The elections are rigged. I also, I don't know that to be true. But that being said, I have suspicions. I'll just say that. And I'm not saying against, I'm not talking about just recently. I'm talking about like in general. In general, I think this is the case. Presidential candidates say horrible things about each other all the time. And when one leaves office, they write each other friendly. Yeah. That's where I'm at right here. This right here. It's that this is what they do. This is what politicians do. In fact, this is not something that's new. Guys, what was it called? Is it mudslinging? There was a thing that used to happen in like the 40s or something. Mudslinging, or was it the 20s? I'll just do 1920s to 1940s. There was a thing, I don't know if it's called mudslinging. Oh, it literally is. Yeah, this has been a thing that's been happening for over a century. Which is why like it's so important to at least know of history. Like none of this is new. Right. So that's why I'm like, it's really on both sides. Let me find something where I wish I can find like not one of these. I'll just send you this. Just take this as a way to go off and like do further study. Like don't, or is this wait, what is this? No, let's go to Wikipedia. Because it's a thing that existed. We'll just do mudslinging. Wikipedia. Oh, it's called negative campaigning now? Is that what it's called now? Let's see. Mud. Oh, yeah. All right. This is it. So I guess they had to come up with a $10 word for this. Here's the article on it. Just use this as a way to like do further investigation. You can actually go and pull like original sources for some of the things, the rhetoric that was being used back then. It wasn't necessarily great. So it's not new is what I'm getting at. It's mostly BS. Yeah, I'm 55. Both. What are you talking about? Okay. Well, I'm assuming you mean like both parties. Yeah, I agree. Like, I think it's both sides. You can't just say, oh, one side's this and that, and then this other side is like God skipped the earth and angels. Nah. If you ask me, they're both evil. Straight up. Like, that's how I feel. Like, I don't think any of these people really have my best interests at heart. Now, you may disagree with me and say, no, well, they really do give a fuck about you. And then I would ask you, well, why weren't they with me when like I was going through all my bad shit? Why didn't they come and call and help me out? That would be that's just my experience. Like, I understand that they don't give a fuck about me. So I got to keep it 100. I don't give a fuck about either of them either. It goes both ways. It's reciprocity. So I don't think any of them are very good or great. I think that they are in power because they want power. They're doing it for themselves. I don't think that very many politicians are actually, in fact, doing things out of my best interest. That's just what I think. Now, I don't know that. And I'm going to keep saying this. I don't know that. That's just what I think. That's my opinion based off of my experiences. Now, maybe they really do. Every night they go to sleep and say a prayer and they say, you know what? Hey, God, I really want you to take care of William and make sure that he has the life that he wants. Maybe they do that. I don't know it to be true, though. So that's where I'm at. I'm on the same page to an extent. I believe I believe they believe in doing good, but there is so much BS along the way. Yeah, so I think we all may agree that they're all I don't think it's really them. And have you ever heard of the saying, the road to hell is paved with good intentions? So just because you believe that you are doing good doesn't in fact mean that you are doing good. I imagine that the Bolsheviks believed that they were doing good. Just real talk. I think everyone who does anything evil thinks that they are doing good. I'm pretty sure the people who are the most fervent Nazi supporters in the Nazi party, I think that maybe they thought that they were doing good. So this is why I don't really like to go by, based on what other people think they're doing. So what I mean by that is, say for instance, I'm talking to you and you tell me that you are doing good. In general, I don't accept that premise at all. If someone tells me that they are doing good, I don't have to argue with it. In my mind, I'm just I don't believe it. The reason why is that I think that the only people who can say that someone's doing good are other people in the society. So if the society thinks that you're doing good, within that society, of course, because everything's relative, then yeah, sure. But just because you're doing good in your society doesn't mean that your society as a whole is doing good, in the broader planet. Even here, we get rewarded, our military people, right? They get Purple Hearts, they get other types of military awards for doing good. And believed 100. Oh, yo, what's up, Eddie? Yeah, it's not. I don't even want to say it's subjective, but I think it's relative. I guess maybe. I don't know. Does that make sense? I don't think that it's just all subjective. I think it's relative, right? Because in relation to what? You know what I mean? We could be doing good, but in relation to what? In what regard, I don't know. But hopefully, maybe y'all have noticed, especially you, James and Cruz. I said I don't know a lot, and I make it clear that I don't know, which is what I wish more people would do. So many people go around talking as if they know what's going on, and I think that's dangerous. I think that is much more important to make it clear what you don't know, and to make it clear that whatever you're saying is coming from just this is what you think, right? So in this situation, this is where I'm at. I don't know. I'm just talking shit, maybe I'll turn out to be right. Maybe I'll be wrong. Probably not in this case, because I haven't made any claim that I'm correcting anything. So it's let's wait until facts come, and let's see what happens. Let's see what reveals itself. But not far from reality. I'm not normal. Well, I don't know. What's normal? I think we're normal. No, normal. There's multiple facets of it, right? So here's what I mean. At least in America, most normal people have 2 legs and they work. They have 2 arms and they work. They have hands, their eyes, ears. Most of us are normal. Now, there might be certain aspects of ourselves that are not normal. So, but yeah, in the grand scheme, we're all pretty normal. We all probably want the same things in life. And that is like, you want a good life. You want to be able to take care of the people you love. You probably want to be able to live in comfort. You probably want security, peace, you know, the ability to eat. Like these things, like I'm pretty sure we all want that. Maybe we don't, you know, maybe maybe some of us are really just like, nah, I don't want any of that shit. Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Like, what the hell is normal? Like, so I'm like, it really depends. So if you zoom out, yeah, I think we're all pretty normal. I have seen abnormal. For instance, I didn't know that leprosy was still a thing. Did you? I didn't see people with leprosy until I went to South Asia and Southeast Asia. I had never seen people with leprosy. So here in America, like, you know, it's pretty normal. Like, we're all normal. We don't have that shit. But, you know, when I was abroad and I was like, oh, okay. I started to really piece together. I'm like, okay, all right. You know, maybe I was in a bubble. You know, and that it popped once I left the country for a bit. I was abroad for a while. I got 3. Wait, hold on. 3 what? I'm sorry. My bad. I think I'm lost. Wait, you got 3 what? 155 IQ. Well, I definitely don't have a 155 IQ. I did do an IQ test when I was younger. And yeah, it ain't 155. I can tell you that. But it's not low. It's definitely not low. Here, there's like a metric. Apparently I'm gifted. There's on the IQ curve. So let's see, IQ curve. It's maybe not the curve. Maybe it is a curve, by the way. But let's do the scale. Maybe that's what yeah, here we are. Classification. Huh? Yeah. So yeah, that's right. Yeah. So I'm not 155. I know that. I'm also not 140. I won't say what it is, but it's in this range. This was the official test that I was forced to take. And then, yeah, they removed me from my classes and they put me in like special classes. I don't mean special. I don't know. Maybe it was special ed, but it wasn't the slow kind. It was the other kind. Yeah. So they basically pulled me out of regular classes, and I ended up taking much more advanced classes as a young kid. According to, I only remember this because they removed me from my classes from all my friends who are like, I prefer to be around. I don't really like being around all these other, I call them nerds, and sure, I am a nerd, but like I didn't want to be around those people. I like my friends who I had. But when I was in 4th grade, I was reading at a college level, and my math ability was at a senior level in high school, not college, but like senior level high school in 4th grade. So they removed me from my regular class and put me in these other classes, and yeah, those were easy too. But yeah, this is why now, and I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. This is why now I tend to just pretend that I'm normal, like in intellect, not like I'm actually normal, like I'm a normal person, but like I tend to like downplay certain things because I remember when I was forced to take this fucking test and they removed me from my like the environment that I wanted to be in, and they put me in this other program. Anyway, that's enough about that. It didn't really matter that much. Let's see here. My state certified 12-hour exam applied by a psychologist. Yes. They did the same to you too. Yeah. Bro, you just struggled to add 15 and 20. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I did. There are a lot of things that I struggle with these days. I struggle to make my code compile. I struggle to like remember what the hell I did a few hours ago. Sometimes I struggle to like to like have self-control, to exercise self-control. Sometimes I struggle with discipline. I struggle with a lot of things. I think that's fine, you know. I don't think that intelligence is just I can add. For what I mean, you probably don't know this. I used to make music. I was signed at 17. So like, I mean, I make music. You probably didn't know that like I'm more verbal, like I write. So I've won several state writing competitions here in the state of Texas. I can also be argumentative. I've also won several state debate competitions when I was younger. You know, I do photography, I do video, I can program, you know. Yeah, I can do math too. But you know, we all have different things that we're good at. That's what I like to say. It's like, you know, you can't just apply what your idea of intelligence is to everyone, because like what you may be good at may not be what I'm good at. You know, some things I can do that you probably would never be able to do. But that's okay. No, we don't all have to be able to do the same shit. But maybe you think we do. But yeah. Let's see here. Jay, have you ever checked out Nietzsche? Yeah, I have. Yeah. I haven't actually read like cover to cover any of his stuff, but I'm familiar with some of his work. I'm also familiar with Carl Jung. One of the things that I wanted to get was the Aristotle. Like he has his like all the writings. There's like a volume, or I don't know, something like that. Let's see if I can figure it out. Aristotle all writings or something. I don't know what it's called, but some people established, or like they assimilate. I don't know. They basically put all his stuff. Here it is, the complete works. This is it. Or wait, what? Wait, hold on, I'm confused. What? What the hell is this? How? Okay, I don't know what that was about. Yeah, this. So I wanted to get this to read it, because I think that the people who thought about life and contemplated life and nature back in these days, they were unencumbered by all of these modern conveniences that we have, right? So they were able to just, I don't know, I think they were able to like really dig deep. And honestly, like it's something that I'm incredibly impressed by, because I understand how hard it is to look within yourself and to try to articulate arbitrary concepts, like things that you can't really put a finger on it, right? Like I understand how hard that is, because you know I've been on this journey, you know, of trying to reflect and try to understand why I'm the way I am for the past 5 or 6 years. And I don't know, I don't know if I'm that close to figuring it out, but I am much further along now than when I was younger. For full disclosure, I went through a few life-changing events in a very short period of time, which kind of like, I don't know the right word, but it made me like question things. It made me question all of the things that I was taught, all of the things that I had believed in, you know, my place in the world, like what my purpose is for, like all like a bunch of things, right? So it kind of like put me on a different path, you know? And now there are things that like I'm more aware of that I don't think that most people are aware of. And some of this is post, you know, ayahuasca. Some of it is post doing some shamanic rituals in Africa and all that. I spent a little bit of time in Africa. Yeah, some of it is just like some of the experiences that I had here in America, just unexplainable things where I'm just like, maybe there's more to this world and life than I know. And yeah, this is where I became okay with not knowing everything and understanding that the person who thinks that they know much is probably the dumbest person in the room. Because what happens is, as you start, it's not always the case, but I think in general, the more people start to learn, you have two options. You can either believe that you know even more than you do, or you can start to realize that, hey man, there's a lot of stuff that I don't know. And for me, going to grad school was good for that, because If you were to talk to my department chair when I was in undergrad, he would call me a know-it-all. In fact, he actually called me. He's like, Will, when I went back to camp, he's like, Will, you were always a know-it-all. He's like, I'm actually surprised that you've grown. And at that time, I was like, fuck. But now I get it. Now I can look back and reflect on it. I'm like, okay, I understand where he's getting at, because 17-year-old William in college, yeah, maybe I did think I knew it all. Maybe I did. Maybe he's not wrong. Let's see here. Hold on, my bad. I'll make sense. Again, wait, is this Gnosticism runs the world, both sides? That had a ton of time, less distractions. Elon said maybe it's time to build that flying metal suit of armor. I don't know. Running from problems is not something that I think we can do. And I understand why someone like him may say this, because I'm going to characterize it this way, but don't take it as it really happened. But I'm gonna say it anyway. He ran from his own country. He ran from, maybe his father and it brought the family, but like he has a history of running from problems. He went from South Africa, and South Africa has a lot of problems. I would have ran from there too. Not even gonna lie. He ran from South Africa and went to Canada and then came here. So it's like, he's continually ran from problems. Didn't just stay in there and fix it there. He went somewhere where it would be easier for him to make it. And I'm not taking anything against him, because I would too. Like, if I had the opportunity to fucking dip the hell out of South Africa, you better believe I would have done it, especially in that time. I absolutely would have done it, especially if I were in his shoes, given what was going on in that time. Like, they were under sanctions, all kinds of things. So it's like, it worked out for him, but like, let's also be real. He got to start by running from problems. So there we go. Pre-coded virtual reality inside concave Earth. I'm not sure what you're getting at, but go on. Elaborate. Elaborate. Imagine he builds the suit to protect Trump. It probably wouldn't work, bro. So it probably wouldn't work. He'll probably say, you know what? The suit will be out in a few months, and then 5 years later, it'll finally come out and it'll still not work. Used to grow much, man. Don't admit that here. That's not legal everywhere. Wait, that's powerful. You helped me see that. We in the Matrix. Wait, who? I don't know. Maybe. Stuff that, yeah, bro. Like, it was. That's why I say I'm not taking anything from him. Like, I'm not. That's why I'm like, I'm careful with how I say it, but let's not pretend that that he didn't run from that. Or maybe he didn't. Maybe it was his father. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know his life like that. Maybe it was his mother and father who ran. And like now there's just a legacy of running in his family. Maybe it's that. But I don't hold it against him. I would have ran too, and I'll be just as fine with y'all saying, you know what, Will? You ran from your problems. Sure, fine. I'll accept it. I don't care. I've ran from a lot of problems. I think what matters is you look back and you learn about it and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I did this. Maybe I'll handle it differently next time. Maybe, probably not, but I would run even now. Even if I were in South Africa now, yeah, hell yeah, I'm running. Man, fuck that. I'm not there. Full self-driving was supposed to be complete in 2018. Bruh. Flat earthers know the convex model is BS, but flat is also BS. Concave has a perfect model. So I don't know anything about flat earthers. I know they exist. And you know what? If their belief helps them sleep at night, and it helps them get through life, it doesn't take away from the fact that maybe they're good people. Maybe they're still doing good things in the world, right? Like, sure, they can believe in the world being flat. That's okay. It's okay. It's fine. So long as these people aren't in positions of power where they have the ability to fuck shit up for the rest of us. So long as that, like, let them believe what they want. Like, that's the beauty of America. I actually appreciate that we can have people who believe in whatever they want to believe in, and it's okay. It's fine. I think that's what makes our country great. Is that, you believe in what the hell you want to believe in. Do you. At least that's been my motto. It's just like, do you. Just keep me out of it. That's where I'm at. That's where I draw the line. It's like, I don't care what you do. As long as you're not doing it to me as long as you're not making me participate in whatever the hell you're doing, go fuck off. You know, you can do it, do you, right? I love it. Same thing with speech. I am perfectly okay with people saying whatever they want to say. They can say whatever they want to say about me or about anyone else. I don't give a fuck. Here's why. Because I don't let what other people have to say affect. Like, I don't really give a fuck. Like, I'm just one of those types of people where it's like, yeah, say whatever. It's okay. Like, I'll still be okay. Like, I grew up in a time, and I think maybe this will resonate with you, James, since you said that you're a little bit older. The saying that sticks and stones may break my bones, but words would never hurt me. That's kind of where I'm at. No, it's this is something that I grew up hearing, and I really internalized that. So I don't really care what people have to say, you know. But I do understand not everybody has that type of resolve. A lot of people, they care a little bit too much about what others have to say about them or think about them, to their own detriment, actually. And there's also the other saying, maybe you knew about this one, or maybe it was different for you. If it is, let me know what it was for you. I'm rubber, you're glue. Whatever you say bounces off of me and sticks back to you. I think there was another one with the mirror too, where it's just like this idea that, you know, if people are talking bad about you or making fun of you or whatever, oftentimes they're not really talking about you. It's something that they see in themselves, but they're expressing that by talking to you. I mean, like, or, you know, like, think about bullies, right? They tend to have much lower self-esteem than you would expect, you know, because, you know, maybe they're going through things at home and they don't really have another outlet, so they resort to violence, especially in boys. I think in girls, they have a different way of expressing that. Generally, it's not violence, but it's basically like, what do you call it? I can't even think of words right now. See, there you go, James. So I can't even recall words. That's where I'm at in life. Maybe it'll come to me at some point. Let's see here. You have a Model 3? I have one now. Wait, no, I'm sorry. I don't have a Model 3. I don't even know what car I have. I have a Model Y. My bad. I have a Model Y. Yeah, I have one now. I don't really like it as a car. As a vehicle that goes from point A to point B is fine. And this is another area of growth that I'm very grateful that I've had. There was a point where I couldn't have a car unless it was a supercar or unless it was like a very high-end luxury car. Now I'm like, I don't care. And this is post ayahuasca. Like, I'll be real. This is post ayahuasca. Before ayahuasca, I was the person where I'm like, I can't even be seen in a vehicle that's under 150K. Now post ayahuasca, I'm like, I give no fucks. I'm over here looking at a cash car now. I'm like, I'll drive a Honda. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with Hondas. I'm just saying, it's just, if you understand the cars that I used to be driving, you would understand. Like, that's never been in my life really. But I'm at a point now where I'm just like, I'd rather have the peace of mind that my car isn't communicating with some servers out in AWS, isn't spying on me, isn't reporting me to anyone, can't be shut down remotely, all these things. Which is why my next car is probably going to be an old car. I was looking at the like a 1996 Mercedes 600 SEL, the V12. I just want a V12 now. So I was contemplating that. There's some other cars that, you know, I can consider. I don't know if I'm going to go back to supercars. If I did, it would be an old something. So I was looking at a Ferrari 488. The older I get, the more I realize that I don't need that kind of shit. So it's like, I thought about it for a little bit and I'm like, it didn't really get me going, you know. It didn't really do it for me. I was just like, yeah, I mean, I'll get the car and then I'll probably do what I did with all the other ones, which is just like, I'll drive it down the street. Sometimes I'll go out and maybe I'll get in trouble. By the way, a lot of this is after I got in trouble. I had a little incident with the law, you know, so I was like, let me get rid of this shit. Let me stay out of jail. That's why. Let me just stay out of jail. That's the goal now. I'm like, I made it this far. You know, I don't want to become a statistic like the rest of people like me. And it's like, you know, I've been to jail or anything. I've never been to jail ever. So I want to keep that. I don't want to go to jail. So I'm like, yeah, maybe I'll leave these cars on. But I have a motorcycle now. And if you watch my videos on my motorcycle, and by the way, this is maybe for you, James. If you watch my videos on my motorcycle, you may find that I rarely go fast anymore. The fastest I'll go is like 125 miles per hour. I don't even feel the need to go faster. When I was younger, every new bike that I got, I would top it out just to see how fast I would go. Now I'm just like, I know it can go fast. I don't need to do it. Same with my cars. Every car that I got, I would do a top speed run to see how fast I can take it. I don't need to do it anymore. I've been over 200 miles per hour I won't say where, but I've been over 200 miles per hour before. I don't think I need to do it again. It was fun, when I was young. I was in my 20s. Now I'm like, I look back, I'm like, man, that was stupid. That was actually stupid, because anything could have happened. I'm not even talking about to me. I'm talking about like, what if I lost control and plowed into someone else and fucked up their life and their family's life because of what I'm over here doing. So that's where I'm at now. So if I do any kind of stupid shit now, it's either at the track or it's out in the country where there's no one. So it's like, if anything happens, it's just me, which I'm okay with. I'd rather die doing something that I love than to, like go the slow way, Anyway, they have solid evidence. Wait, who are we talking about? Wait, what are we talking about? Yes, sir. Yeah, we need to argue. Why do we need to argue? Projection. Why? My Ubers are always Teslas. I like cause it's way more roomy. Where do you live, Cruz? Are you in like Cali or somewhere? Cause I do notice that there's a lot of Uber, or I'm sorry, Tesla Ubers or Uber Teslas or whatever you want to call them out in California whenever I'm there. So I'm curious if that's where you are. What did I get in trouble for? Well, I got in trouble for racing. I wasn't actually racing. I was going a high rate of speed though, but I was actually going to the dog store, and they didn't tell me what my speed was, so I'm assuming they didn't clock me. And I won't say what I was going at a certain point, but it was faster than most of you probably ever gone in your life in a car. I'll just say that. So I was like, y'all can get me for speeding, but I wasn't fucking racing. Like, and in my mind, I didn't say it, but like if I was racing, I'm like, y'all wouldn't have caught me. Like, the hell? You think that little car that y'all have is gonna catch me? And I'm like, there were no lights. They got me when I pulled into the to the dog store or to the pet food store, whatever you want to call it. I can even show it to you here. I can show you exactly where it is. Cause this is where I go to get Roscoe's food. I have a dog, by the way, in case that's not obvious. Where is he? He's not here, so I guess it's not obvious. All right, so right here, there is a dog store that I normally go to. Is it gonna show up? Yeah, Carter's Pet Market. So let's go to the, wait, how do I work this thing? Is it here? Yeah, wait, no, this isn't it. Yeah, this is kind of just the back of it. I don't know why it took me to Gaylord, but sure. We'll go back over here to the pet store. By the way, this is a high school. This is Memorial High School here. I used to live over in Memorial, just FYI. So this is the pet store right here, with the little paw over here. So I pulled in. I'll show y'all where I pulled in, because I had I known that the cops were behind me, I wouldn't have got off. I shouldn't admit this, but they wouldn't have caught me. We would have had a need for speed moment. It was like, either I'm going to get away or I'm going to die trying. That was where I was at. So I pulled in right here, and I made it to about right here. So here's the entrance. I made it to right here. I was about to turn in, and then cops swarming. So yeah, that's what happened. And I hired a very good lawyer. There was this guy who, let me see if I can find him. New York City, Porsche Carrera crash. This guy. Okay, so I don't know if y'all remember this. This dude who crashed his freaking his Carrera GT and then ran. So turns out this guy has had other similar incidents. I had his lawyer. All right. So, I'm a few degree. I'm like a couple degrees of separation from this guy. We have a mutual person who we know. I guess now we have two because the guy who was like, yo, like call my lawyer right away, and he gave me his number. It turns out it's the same dude who represents him. So it cost me a little bit, but I know I got a special favor discount, so I didn't have to pay what it would really cost, but it was still a lot. All in, it was about, I don't know, $12,000 to get that taken care of. And I'll do it again. Hell, I would have paid them 20, 30, 40, 50. I would have paid them 50 grand because like the charge that they were charging me is a Class B misdemeanor, which I want to say is up to 5 years in prison here. So I was like, you know what? Yeah, like I will happily, I'll happily give you this money. Here, take it. I don't need it. Like, I need to stay out of jail. So yeah, I don't really fuck around with shit anymore. I'm like, I go mostly the speed limit, kind of, not really. I go 85 everywhere. That's kind of where I'm at, 80-ish. Let's see here. I only ride a bicycle for 25 years. I love looking at supercars though. Yeah, dude. Like, so here's what I've realized. I prefer looking and talking about them than like just going out and driving them, because they all have just downside. Like, they're not, I mean, obviously they're really fun. I'm not disputing that. But what I mean is that they all have pros and cons, right? Like, there's always something that like they don't have enough room, or maybe they're hot, or maybe you can't drive them everywhere. Like, that's one of the things that I started to, as I got older, I started to like really pay attention to, is that like people they're attracted to this. One of the weirdest things that happened was I was at a Target, not a Target. Where was it? Fuck, what's the name of the place? I can pull it. I can show it. I don't know what it's called anymore. Wesleyan. So it's in this area right here. There is a like some type of shopping center mall. I don't forget what it's called. This right here. Let's put a thing right here. No, this isn't it. Oh wait. Oh, it's near here. Okay, we're in the area. I just didn't do it right. So I was here, and I was just, I was going to. I know a guy who owns a watch shop, and I was going to, just kind of hang out. His son races for Porsche, so like I was like, yeah, let's go hang out. By the way, if y'all are ever interested, here is the watch shop right here. Where is that? Intermix. Oh, dude, does he not have it here? Maybe it wasn't here during the time. Oh, wait. Yeah, it wasn't here. It looks like it's not here yet, but it's right here. I was leaving here, and I was coming down this road right here, and I was about to get ready to go. And then as I'm driving, I'm not really going fast. Obviously, like this is like a shopping center kind of thing. I'm driving, and as I'm driving, some dude with a camera decides that he's going to jump out in front of my fucking car so he could take a picture. That was like, that was weird. And that's why I was like, oh man, like, I don't know if I like this anymore. Or every time I would go to a gas station, random strangers would approach. And this is why I stopped going to gas stations at night, and I only go to Costco early in the morning. But yeah, it's just like, it was weird. Like, people just coming up, what do you do? It's like, fuck, leave me alone. Like, I don't go to anyone else bothering them in their day. Like, and people are coming to me, bothering me, asking like what I do and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, I didn't like it. So this is where I realized, you know what? It's kind of nice to be low key. And that's one of the cool things about the Model Y that I haven't been able to experience in a while, which is just have a vehicle and no one notices me. I did have a vehicle kind of like that, which was my Genesis G80 that I had for a little bit before I left the country and I got rid of it. But I bought that as a daily, and honestly, for the reasons I kind of alluded to in the past. And it was really nice. It was like a breath of fresh air because, here in Houston, we have so many uninsured motorists. And, I was always a little bit on the edge of like, man, like, like somebody fucking rams into the back of me. How much am I going to be on the hook for? 30, 40 grand? What if like I hit one of these disgusting potholes that we have and it like bends my rim? I'm like $8,000 for a new wheel, or my brakes. I had carbon ceramic brakes, and I learned that to get them replaced was $35,000. So I'm just like, man, I don't know. So it's like all of these things, and then I get a car where I don't have to worry about anything. If something happens, it's only a couple $100 to fix. I was like, man, yeah, this is much better. So now with the Tesla, like, it's a lease. I didn't buy it. I would never buy it. But I actually enjoy the fact that I don't really have to worry about anything. It's pretty cool. Florida, Cali's basically Teslafornia. Everybody got them down here. Then they got you when you was buying dog treats. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. All right, man. I'll see you later, Eddie. Have a good rest of the day. You're probably not here, but yeah. Have a good night, I should say. Yeah. We're good, bro. I learned my lesson. It was a good lesson to learn. You know, stay out of trouble. You know, I don't need to go extra fast. I'll get there. And I guess this is what happens. I'm curious for James, because you said you're 55. Was there at what age were you when you kind of settled down? Do you know what I mean? I know you know what I mean. You have to, because you were a young man once upon a time. So I you should know what I mean. Like, for me, it was interesting. Like, it happened suddenly for me. Like, one day I'm just like, and now I'm just like, man, I want to stay at home. I don't want to go out. I don't want to do anything. I've become an old man fast as hell. I'm just like, you know what? I don't need to go out. And I don't mean, I'm not talking about clubbing. I never did that. But I mean, I don't even need to leave my house. Like, I'll stay here. Well, crew, I thought you were younger. I thought you were Gen Z. I was talking about James. I think he said he's 55, I think. So yeah. Eddie's not that old. He's older than me, but he's not that old. In fact, if you saw Eddie, bro, like, if you saw him in real life, you would never guess his age. Ever. Like, man, I swear, if you saw him in life, you wouldn't be like, oh yeah, this dude is the age that, I don't know, I'm not gonna say his age. I don't know if you actually know how old he is, but like, you would never guess he's his age. Actually, yeah, he has a channel. Go follow him. He's doing his channel now, which is nice. You know, go and support him. So I think that people like him need to be supported, and here's why. He's not here, so like, it's fine. You could tell him I was talking shit about him. Like, he is in his, like, he has a nuclear family, right? Like, he has his kids, his wife, and they're all together. I think we need to start celebrating that and promoting that. Like, and he's really about his family, which is nice. Because I come from an environment where it seems like a lot of the men aren't really about their family. I don't know if it's true. That's what it seems like. So it's kind of nice to see, you know, that he's really a family man. You know, he really cares about his family. And I think that kind of stuff needs to be celebrated, because when I look at what's happening now, it seems like we're demonizing the nuclear family, which is kind of pathetic. I don't like it. I always thought that was the ideal way to be, and that was the fundamental unit of our nation, of our civilization, which is the nuclear family. And to see that being attacked is kind of discouraging, to be honest. All right, let's see what else we got. Oh, actually, you were supposed to hold me accountable, Cruz. You didn't even hold me accountable. It just came back. I remember what I was supposed to do. So remember, I was like, I wanted to show those tweets. So I saw part of it in this video, and I put it on my list to watch. I wasn't even going to do this tonight, but then I was like, man, nah, I need to talk about this tonight, because yeah, this isn't a good time for us right now. Let's see if I can find it. Or maybe I didn't watch it. Oh, yeah, here we are. Yeah, here we are. So we don't need to actually watch it. I just want to show some of the tweets that she brings up.
They almost got Trump, and just shows how far we have fallen and how
Let me turn down the music a little bit.
divisive politics has become in this country. And in case you haven't seen these, let me just show you some of these tweets.
This right here.
How do you miss?
What kind? Can you believe this? Here, let me make it larger, just in case it's harder to see. How do you miss the most important shot of your life? Okay, all right.
The fucking.
This is where we are. I didn't say anything illegal or incriminated. Get over it. Laugh out loud. Nothing's funny here, but okay. And then shameless promo, give me money.
Most important shot of your life. They almost got Trump.
Notice the flag.
How do you miss? OMFG. How do you miss? You had one shot. And when we're looking at the media coverage of this, here we go from USA Today. Trump removed from stage by Secret Service after loud noises startles former president. And you saw these people hopping on X and saying, oh my gosh, he got...
I don't know, but here's my issue with that. If you live in America, I don't want to say you should, but I think that people should put the country that they live in first. We have our own problems here. And to not only, be more concerned with some foreign country, but also so unconcerned with the state of affairs here to where you're even willing to say, oh yeah, you missed a shot at all. It's like, I know that these are young people because it seems like it's only young people who don't know history, who for whatever reason, they think war is fucking Call of Duty. And that, that we can just say, oh, no, we're done and we give up. That's not how it works. And it seems like we're steamrolling towards that. And I've been saying for a while that I think we're heading towards a civil war here in America, within the next 2 or 3 years. But yeah, to actually see that come to fruition, it's not something that I want because I think that my quality of life has been very great here. Sure, there are problems here, but I've also experienced other places to know that there are problems everywhere. And this idea that people think that by having a war and destroying what we have, that somehow it'll be replaced with something better is a little bit immature. There's nothing that states that what comes next has to be better than what we have. If history is to be any guide, is that it won't be better. It will be worse. It's generally how it happens. You have good times and then you do something and they become bad times. It's not you have good times, you do something and they become better times. America that I grew up in took centuries to get to the point to where it was. It wasn't something where they had a revolution and then all of a sudden everything is fine. It didn't work out that way. It took centuries. So, anytime that there is a setback, it takes longer than you think. Even with the Reconstruction after the Civil War, it took a long time. Honestly, I don't even know if it's still 100%. It was damn near 80 years to 100 years. And even now, that stuff is still kind of here, even after all that time. So that's what's worrying to me is that, we have something truly great. Maybe, it has rough edges, all this kind of stuff. Yeah, I agree with all that. But we have something truly great in that we have the ability to shape the country that we live in a positive manner. And we choose to not do that. It's upsetting sometimes. Also, the Thomas guy might not actually be the shooter. Oh, all right. Well, now do you understand why I'm over here? I would rather wait and see. and not just say, oh yeah, this is it. Like he might be the shooter. I don't know. But this is what I mean, where it's like, let's wait, let's see what comes out. You know, maybe it turns out that this was indeed an inside job, but I mean, we don't know that yet. You know, maybe it turns out that it was fake. I don't really believe that, but like, no, that could also come out, and no, we don't know yet. So, oh, he's not the shooter. All right, well, shit, there you go. I guess that's 1 point for me for being the person who's like, nah, I'm not going to just cast judgment and just say, oh yeah, this or that. Let's actually wait. Let's see what happens. The truth will come out, and I don't think it's going to take decades because we still don't know what's going on with JFK, which tells me that the state likely has something to do with it. If we find out what's going on with this within a matter of days, that tells me that this is probably not something that the state has anything to do with, and that is probably just some dude who, I don't know, thought that he would become, I don't know what he thought. I don't know what was running through his mind. I don't even want to try to attempt to figure out what he may have been thinking. But whatever it was, he wasn't doing a good job of thinking. So it's unfortunate. I hope that his family is cool, or maybe he doesn't have a family, but I'm pretty sure he does. Because imagine if that were your son who did that. No, like that's what I mean by there's more than one victim. No, it's a lot of people who are affected by this, and not in such a positive manner. All right, yeah. So that's what I wanted to show. It was very short, like those tweets. So let's go look at Twitter, I guess, see what's going on. Oh, actually, let's see what he has to say. Oh my gosh. I wonder, is my video marked as inappropriate? I'm curious. Because if it is, maybe I shouldn't watch this, because maybe my maybe my thing will be marked as inappropriate. I hope that me talking about whatever I'm talking about isn't inappropriate. I don't think that what I've been saying is inappropriate at all. Well, I don't know if I fully agree with that, and here's why. Anyone can open a Twitter account, and anyone can say whatever they want on Twitter. So I don't think that it's the best place to go for high quality news. I do think it's a great place to go to news as it occurs, but the problem is that it's only useful if, the people who are using it are able to critically filter out things. And even then, it's kind of hard. But yeah, I'm gonna go to Twitter. Let's see what's on Twitter. I'm not fully disagreeing. I'm just saying that it's like, I think it's more than just, it's not so simple, And I can't say it's truthful because there's been a lot of bullshit on in fact, I can go through my timeline and show you some of the bullshit, and you'll be like, oh, okay, I see why you're like this is why I'm like this. Okay, so let's see. Same stuff. We don't need like same stuff. Nothing new. Let's see, shooter. Oh, cool.
I just found out about this shit. It just happened. I haven't even had a second to process. You're telling me somebody finally had the balls to bring a pew-pew, and he missed! We were a second away! We were a centimeter away from half of the problem being gone, and you missed! There was a white man attached to that trigger. I know it! We were a centimeter away! Ah! I just...
She said half the problem. Who's the other half? Wow, this is... All right. And we allow these people to vote. This is in a nutshell what's wrong with our country. This is embarrassing, actually. Yeah, so far I'm not seeing anything new. This is all the same shit. Oh, whoa, whoa. Oh. Man. I can't help but laugh at this one. Man, they doing Clay dirty for this one. That's fucked up. Why would you attach this to him? He didn't have nothing to do with this. Yeah, I don't see anything new here. I mean, it's all the same shit. This is nothing useful. Let's go and see what's on the latest. Same shit. Like, honestly, it's getting to a point where it almost seems like it's becoming propaganda. So I expect to see a lot of misinformation coming out soon from foreign actors. Oh, is this him? Is this what they're saying this is? Oh, you said this. Well, I don't know. I mean, people are convinced that this is person. I don't know if it is. Maybe it is. I don't know. But whatever he is, he's dead. So, you know. There's that. Go to trending. All right. All right. You might have. Where's trending at? Did I tell you? Oh, here. I don't actually use Twitter like that. All right. So now what? Just Trump? I don't know. Oh, is it UFC? Oh, isn't he at UFC? I thought, wasn't he supposed to go to UFC? I guess he didn't. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's all the same shit, and it's nothing new here. Yeah, same shit. I don't see what's new. Ah, okay. His name was trending. Okay. I'll just put it in here. Thomas Crooks. Oops. What did I do? I put the wrong thing in. Oh, it's just him, I guess. Well, too bad for him. I don't think he'll be missed. So this, I don't, honestly, I'm at a point, I don't even care if his background, like, you know, like, I can't have any sympathy for him. It's like, all right, you did what you did. You wanted to act like you did a grown man thing. You got a grown man result. You'll die and people forget you. And honestly, like, let's be real. He basically fucked over his parents, because let's be real, their genetics are no longer going to be passed down. so yeah, I mean, all of his ancestors have died in vain as a result of him. No, his ancestors probably went through a lot so that he could be here. And now their lineage is ending with him. So yeah, there you are. I don't know, man. Like I said, I don't know. This is why I don't really play the whole let me go and I don't know. My expertise is not journalism. I also will admit that I don't care enough. I'm gonna be real. Like I said earlier, I don't care who the fuck it is who did it. The who is irrelevant to me. Just real talk. The what is more important to me, and the why. The what and the why. The who, zero fucks. I already know the how. I know what happened. You know, I don't know why it happened. I know when it happened. You know, maybe I know who, but that doesn't change shit to me. So, hopefully, you know, over the next few days, we'll figure out more information. And hopefully this is not something that happens again. Yeah. Because, you know, all we need is one incident, like the wrong person. We just need the wrong person to get killed. And then all of a sudden, we're in a very, very, very bad situation. And no matter what side of the political aisle you're on, it's going to be bad. For you, regardless, whether you're someone who wants him in power, and I'm talking about him as in Trump, the guy who's running, like whether or not you want him in power or you don't want him in power, it doesn't really matter. Like if things were to go bad, it's bad for everyone. We're already dealing with record inflation. We're already dealing with increased unemployment is spiking right now. We're already dealing with the middle class shrinking as a result of inflation, interest rates. Yeah, there's a lot of things going on right now. You know, we have these open borders. We have a record amount of people in our country here illegally. We don't know anything about them. There's just so many things. So, like, we don't need anything else, you know, happening. Yeah, see, that's it. This is why earlier I said that I think that what President Biden said was the correct or the appropriate response, which is, I don't know. I have an opinion. We'll figure it out, you know? Like that's all that matters to me, is that, you know, he didn't say I don't know and drop it at that. It was more like, you know, we'll learn as the facts come out, which is, I think, a very mature response. You know, we will find out, hopefully. I'm pretty sure we'll find out for this one. Yeah, but outside of, you know, this BS that's going on, there are other things that are going on around the world that, you know, are not great. Here, let me show you one of them. We'll do China floods. This is currently going on right now in China. This doesn't really do it justice, though. Let's maybe we'll find more stuff, but like millions of people are affected. And just keep in mind that I'm in a place that it flooded a little bit, but it's not like this, you know, like, you know, we went without power for a while. But this is also something where it's like, I like to keep in mind the framing. There's perspective here where it's just like, you know, things can always be worse. You know, they probably don't have power either, you know. Here's some more shit. You know, like this is going on right now in China. And it's not just places. I mean, there are other places, not just here, you know, that are going through it right now. Like, check this out, man. Like, imagine you're driving down the road and you see this. You see the literal, like, land literally sliding. Like, imagine this is what you're seeing, right? Oh, I know that song. I know Coffee. Yeah, I like her music. I like her. She's pretty cool. I think the Three Gorges Dam. Let's see. Three Gorges Dam. Okay. Oh, wait, whoa. Which part is this? Oh, this okay. I'm like, wait. I'm like, that's weird. Okay, that was a while ago. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff about Three Gorges Dam. Some of it I think is propaganda, but some of it is like, there's some legit shit now going on. But yeah, this is what's going on right now. Could you imagine? Like, it sounds like a river. By the way, these are literal streets. Like, this isn't a river. This is just like So at least where I'm at, a lot of people are upset because we don't have power and all this kind of stuff. But I think it's always great to understand that, oh my gosh, things could be so much worse. And I've experienced a flash flood in another country, and this was when I was in Kenya. I legit thought I wasn't going to make it. Like, my worst fear was, man, I'm going to die in Africa. And it was my second time where I had a fear like that. The first time, I think I got malaria. And I was like, man, like, I wasn't really worried about dying. I was more worried about dying in Africa. I laugh at it now, but like, that was legit my concern. I'm like, man, like, I'm going to die here in Africa. So yeah, I had experience in both East and West Africa, and yeah, I just accepted it. I was like, if I die, I die. I guess so long as I die and I don't get attacked by hyenas or bamboo. What do you call those things? I forgot. What do you call those? The animals, the Rafikis? A baboon? Yeah, a baboon. I'm like, so long as one of those don't fucking attack me and eat my face. Because they're loud. Oh my gosh. And they look like humans. Have you ever seen a baboon? They look like humans, bro. They're scary. I don't know if I have pictures. I probably do. I don't know how to get to them because I no longer use Lightroom. But let's see. Baboon. Or just baboon. I guess it's baboons. Not in the face. It's not. They walk. They can walk on their two legs. See if I can find one walking. Standing. How about that? Baboon standing. So when you see them, like, just in the environment, and unfortunately, I can't find any of them where they're standing on two, but they do that. Like, trust, they will walk. Maybe let's see, walking on 2 feet. Upright. Yes, here we are. Yeah, that's a baboon. Like. When I first saw one of these in the environment, like, this wasn't in a zoo. This was like in real life. From a distance, they're human-like. It's scary. It's scary. They don't normally walk like this. They normally walk on all fours. But man, yeah, I think I have a phobia of monkey-like animals, like animals that look very like eerily similar to us, but are different. Like, I don't like them. Like, I think I'm more okay with gorillas. Like, I don't know why, but baboons, I don't. Some about them. I don't like them. Have you ever been in the wild with actual baboons? I'm just curious. I'm going to assume that you haven't. I have. What do you mean they ain't that scary? What's your experience with baboons to where you think they're not that scary? Okay, all right. All right, you don't have to be afraid of them swallowing you, but they are stronger than you. They are faster than you. They also roam in troops, and they are known to kill humans very quickly. So just keep that in mind. Some things you should be afraid of that are smaller than you. Like, there's a very tiny insect that can kill you if it bites you and injects its venom in you. And I would be afraid of that, but I'm less afraid of that than a freaking baboon because they're fast. Oh my gosh. And like, they can swing in trees. I can't do that shit. I can't compete. Hell no, I can't. No, man. I don't know what you talking about. You obviously haven't seen the way that they're freaking violent, bro. They're violent and they're strong. Yeah, you think you're fast. Humans are incredibly slow. The fastest human is not faster than a baboon. Let's see. Let's see how fast. How fast can man? Why can't I spell this? Is it baboons? I don't know why I can't say this word. I'm gonna call them Rafikis. That's how fast can Rafikis run? Okay, Mr. I'm fast. There is no way you're faster than a baboon. 30 miles per hour. I think the fastest human on earth is under 20. Here, let's see. Versus human. Let's just put that in there. Or maybe I'll just say fastest human on earth. The fastest human on earth, and I know you're not him, ran 23.35 miles per hour. A baboon runs 30, bro. And beyond running 30, they can jump high as fuck. You don't really understand until you see them in fucking nature, bro. Like, oh my gosh. They can jump high as fuck. They can like just jump into a tree and just hang there and just look at you and just fucking do this. Just hang in there and pull themselves up with one hand. I can't do a one-arm pull-up. Maybe you can. And if you can, you're not doing it like a baboon where they're just hanging there all day just doing baboon shit. No. Hell nah. Nah, you're not running 30. maybe you could run 30 kilometers per hour. Maybe you're doing that. Yeah, you're not escaping from these baboons, and they're smart. They're not dumb. So like they're just smart. So like they get together, bro. Let's see. Let's look at some baboon shit. We're about to turn this into the Nature Channel. Baboon running. Look at these, man. You running at this dude? Hell nah. Hell no. So when I was in Kenya at night where I was, oh my gosh, bro. They are loud. I was in they warned us. I was in a tent. They warned us. They're like, make sure you not only zip up the tent completely, but make sure you attach the Velcro on there and make sure that all of the windows are closed. And they will try to get in, and they do try to get in. And they're just like, make sure that they're like it's completely closed, and that you there's a little loop that you can lock it in place. Make sure that shit is locked in place. Make sure there is no food near. Like just make sure. And all night you just hear just freaking loud as hell. Just I don't even know I can't even describe the noise. Unfortunately, I don't know if it's unfortunately there was no power there. So it's not like I could just have a bunch of cameras and record shit. Plus it was pitch black and I didn't go outside. Like after a certain point at night, they said, don't leave your tent. Just stay in your tent. And I stayed in that tent. It was cold too. Oh my gosh. This is when it was a flash flood and I thought I was going to die. I was like, oh my gosh, what have I got myself into? Yeah, man, screw these baboons, bro. Like, that's all you. Hold on, look at this. They over here climbing mountains, bro. Scaling rocks. Look at this. Look at that. No fucks. He just climbed straight up a vertical wall. Nah, bro, that's all you. That's all you, bro. Yeah, that's all you. You go pet them all you want, bro. You might come up with your hand missing. They are very strong. They're very strong. Now, some of them are domesticated, but they're still they still are a little bit scary for me. Yeah, we're not gonna look at that. All monkeys, bro. Like, I don't know. I don't really mess with monkeys at all. Any of them. I like to stay away from them. Now I have been. There was a point where I couldn't really avoid monkeys. I was in gosh, I think I was in Nigeria. I was in Nigeria on some type of I don't know what it's called, but it's like a skywalk type of thing where like you could walk throughout the trees or whatever, and they're all connected by these bridges or whatever, like these hanging rope bridges kind of thing. I was walking there, and no, along the path sometimes they're like small monkeys. They'll come and like I try to avoid eye contact because if you make eye contact, they'll come at you, and not in an aggressive way, but maybe they think that you're about to try to give them something. And if they think that, they'll come to you and like they'll start picking through all your shit, and like literally they'll like go through all your stuff trying to like mug you basically. So I like anytime I saw them, I'm like, man, leave me alone. I don't want nothing to do with these monkeys. Nothing to do. That's all you. But maybe I don't know. Maybe you're saying that as someone who's only seen monkeys at a zoo, and you have that nice piece of glass protecting you from them. It's a little bit different when when you're out in real life and it's a freaking, I don't know what you call them, a troop of monkeys. I'm gonna call them a troop because I don't know what else you call them. A troop of monkeys. Nah, that's all you, bro. I don't know. They're violent. Chimps are the worst. You will never catch me anywhere near a chimp. They are violent. They like to rip off faces and rip off genitals and eat them and like just do insane wild shit. It's actually kind of weird. All right. Anyway, people on YouTube are saying that the person's been identified. We'll see. I am interested to see, where do we go from here? How do we recover? Well, baboons are too, bro. Like they're vicious too. They're not as smart as chimps, but they're still smart. But they are brutal. In fact, what's interesting is that the gorillas are actually peaceful. Like the gorillas, the bigger ones, the ones that you think are the ones that are super aggressive. They're not as aggressive. Orangutans too. Like they're not as aggressive as chimps and baboons. Those things are freaking nah, bro. I'm not messing with anything with a giant blue and purple butt. That everything about him, I hate him. I hate him. I don't hate him enough to like want anything bad to happen to him, but I want to make sure that I don't even want to breathe the same air as them, Like they're good over there where they are. Leave their environment to them. It's their home. I want them to stay there. Just leave me out of it. Don't come over here. Just get me away from these things. Oh man. Anyway, I think I'm gonna go ahead and go. I'm tired. I'm 3.5 hours in and I'm delirious now. So I will probably be back later today, but I'll be working. Like I won't be wasting time with just doing this. I'll actually get some work done. So if you want to see a person do some work, feel free to watch me do work tomorrow. But yeah, man, it was nice chatting with you, Cruz. Thanks for the company. I'm not sure if you're new, maybe you're not, but if you are, feel free to subscribe. I do live streams fairly often. They may not be like this all the time. Most of the time I'm working on something, but I'm always happy to talk about this kind of stuff every so often, right? I try to keep it to about twice a month, specifically on Saturday, but Anyway, you have a good rest of the night, and so the rest of you all have a good night. Hopefully, y'all don't get too riled up by all the animosity that's going on between people these days. And make sure you keep a clear head. Don't let all these elite media folks con you into believing that the world is falling down and all. Like just use your own critical thinking. Don't just accept what's being told to you. But yeah, I'm out. Y'all have a good night. Peace.